All right, family, welcome to the family tree. I'm glad everyone is joining us this evening. And hope you got your pens and pads. We got a lot of stuff we're going to talk about today. But also, I want to start off by saying, be thankful for today that we're
Ooh,
all walking and talking. Everybody just shake your hands and say, I'm thankful.
I know
Yeah,
that's
there
right.
you go.
Thankful,
I
Yeah,
thankful,
know
you're
that's right.
thankful, right?
thankful.
Yeah,
Be,
buddy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
but when you turn on the news, sometimes it can be very discouraging,
It
with
makes you
everything
wonder.
that's
It
going
makes you
on.
wonder, doesn't it?
Also,
So it's a time to be thankful for everything that's going on. Be in the spirit of Thanksgiving, right now because things could be so much worse. And if it's going to get any worse, we don't know. But we know right now, all you can do is talk about what's happening with you right now. So we're going to talk about a lot of good stuff about your health today. This is the holistic hour where you can talk about any questions, anything that are going on in your life. Gather around the tree is what we
Yes,
say.
indeed. Yes,
That's why we
indeed.
do the family tree. So with that, if there's any place that you can do, this is your social security, right?
Yes,
Social
indeed. Yes,
security
sir. Yes,
is
sir.
right
Yes, sir.
here, and your only social security is really your family. So bring the questions, no matter what it is. The only dumb question is the one you did
That you
not
don't
ask.
ask.
Yeah,
That's
right.
right.
All right, we're gonna kick it off, but I want to tell everyone, let's give a hand out to my super producer on the other side. That's Bill One L
Whoop, whoop,
Morgan. Let's
whoop,
give
whoop,
Bill a
whoop, whoop,
hand,
whoop.
y'all. All right,
Shoot,
Bill One L
hey, I
Morgan.
love that, boy. What you talking about, man? Hey, Karen, wait. Hey, Karen, you and I both gonna get some hair in a minute. You gonna get be cool like Dr. Paul.
So, Big B, tell us what's going on in the world, man. What's in the
Man,
world with the news?
look, right, let me tell you something. Right now, the world is confused. Can I say that everyone is
Mm,
confused, man? Nobody knows what's going on. The people,
mm,
listen. I've been listening to pushback all day long from the city folk and the congressional people. Nobody
mm.
knows what's going on, man.
Yeah, a lot of people are very confused right
Yeah,
now. A
between
lot
the,
of mixed
the
signals.
CDC and Fauci and everybody else is out there, nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah, that's why we got to talk about good stuff today, y'all. That's why we got to talk about again. We never got off this foundation of you dealing with your health and what you
Yes,
can deal with right now.
yes.
Build your immune system. That's all you can bank on. That's what we're going to talk about today. So, Big B, tell us what's going on.
All right, here we go, guys. Our quick facts. Here, this is an update from our favorite website. That's encode2019.live. That's NCOV2019.live. Here are our facts updated as of about 8 minutes ago. Our total confirmed cases around the world: 205,358,142. Total critical cases, guys, 101,815. Total deceased, 4,335,726. Total active cases, 22,215,914. Drum roll, Dr. P. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, guys. Total recovered from, get this, from 205 million, total recovered, guys, 182,685,233. Yes,
Wow, that's a lot
yes,
of folks. That's a
that's
lot
what's
of
up.
folks,
That's a
y'all.
lot of people,
Yo, that's
y'all.
a lot of
That's a
folks,
lot of
man.
people.
what I'm talking
See,
See, this is the numbers that you're not getting.
yes,
I
yes,
wish they
yes.
would now start to, talk about the people that are recovering from this thing. Some point in time, you got to start backing up and now looking at the people that did the things right, had the COVID, now they actually are coming out of it.
Yes,
And I
yes,
think that there is a post effect of, post COVID number that they need to start looking at because some people are doing some things, and what is it doing is verifying what they said to begin with. They said
mm-hmm,
that if you are, they said literally, it's only like a less than 1% chance of death
mm-hmm,
when you're talking about COVID 19.
mm-hmm.
So, with that being the case, all you got to do is when you start to build your immune system, you got a better chance of just, eating right,
Yes,
exercising, doing the things that you got to do, and watching the crazy, food and getting rest and all those things. That's why
yes.
we call it holistic health. So,
The
with
simple
that being the
life.
case, the
The
simple
simple
life, man,
life.
do
Yes.
stuff and just be consistent.
Yep,
That's
yep.
it. So, go to our website again. That was Encode 2019.live Bill
Yes.
was reading from. If you want to go to that website, that's our favorite website that we use because it deals with all the epidemiologist reports from
Right.
around the world,
Mm-hmm.
and it's updated in real time. You're
Mm-hmm.
talking about in a matter of seconds. It's constantly being updated. So
Mm-hmm.
go to that site, utilize that site. It talks about if you have family in different parts of the country, you can get updated information
Yes.
from
Yes.
confirmed cases per million, deceased rates, tests involved, recoveries, and also the population of that region. So it
Yes.
can also tell you things that are going on over around the world in other countries. So we got a lot to talk about today. All right, so I'm going to get things started. And if you are joining us for the very first time, down in your lower right hand corner, there is a reaction button. If you're
Yes. Yes.
interested in
Yes.
asking a question, we encourage you to ask questions. We will try to get the answer. We don't know. We're going to find the answer
We're
for
gonna
you,
do our
okay?
best. That's
But
the
if you
truth.
have a question, you want to raise your hand, just click the reaction button, put the hand up, and we'll try to get to you, or Big B will get to you. If that is something you don't want to be on screen, you can actually put it in the chat box,
That's right.
and we'll
Mm-hmm.
read your question and try to get to that answer also. We try to get to as many as we can. We can't get to everybody, but we'll try to do our best, okay?
Yes. Yes.
Also, if you are on the phone, you're listening by phone, and we can't see you. If you can just let us know in some way, Big B or myself, and we'll try to grab a way of getting you on the horn so that you can ask your question or concern. All right?
Yes,
How's that
sir.
sound? All right,
Yes,
Big
sir.
B, start us off, man. We got
Yeah,
anybody
man.
on
I
the
got
chat?
one quick question. Well, what is? Now, listen, I'm not quite sure about this, but my question: Are you? Wait a minute. One question: Are Yoni, Yoni, steam safe for women?
Yoni?
Yes, Yoni.
Yoni. Okay. Are you speaking about when they say
No,
Yoni? Is
this
because
is not my question, but I think that's a Yoni egg. I think they're talking about.
a Yoni
Not my
egg?
question. Mm-hmm.
As
Hmm.
long the whole thing is, if you're looking at organic, if it's organic, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But watch. Well, wait a minute. Let me take a look at the what you're speaking about. The Yoni eggs.
Iabeta. That's BETA.
Is that what she's saying?
African.
Yoni steam. STEAM. YONI. Yoni steam.
Are you talking about these are exercise device for women?
Probably.
Probably. Yeah. Probably.
I
I
believe it's vaginal steaming.
Yeah.
Aha. Okay.
This is for right. These
Yes,
are
that's
things
right.
for
That's right.
Diabetes.
right. You're talking about for Kegels.
Okay.
That's what they're used for, Kegels. Y'all know what Kegels are? Kegels is building a muscle, and this is we got to be a little adult. If you got children listening, you want to tune it down a little bit.
Put them out of the room. Send them out of the room.
Send them out the
Put
room.
them at the table or what in the kitchen.
Yes, yes, yes. There are a lot of different devices that are used. This is the Yoni egg is just one of them. There's also the Japanese would use these balls,
Oh,
and it would help to just strengthen the area of the vagina for women.
right.
That's what
There
it
you
was
go.
used for. And remember, this is an exercise. This is an exercise device that's used. And yes, it goes back to the Ming Dynasty when they were using things like that. I think the Yoni egg, that was something that actually was an extension of coming back from dealing with the Ming Dynasty, where they used to use the balls. And basically, the rotation of the balls helps to build kegels and strength in that area, especially after childbirth. That's usually when that was used. So I would say just make sure your biggest problem with anything um, is always going to be sanitary. You got to
Yes.
deal with
Always.
sanitary issues. That's the key. Sanitary, sanitary, sanitary. That's basically it. So that would be the answer to my question.
Okay.
Is
Dr. Paul,
yes.
they're talking about the yoni steam, where you steam your vagina.
Right. There's also one. Right. There's one that you can take. They take the herbs and they put the herbs in a bowl, and they give you a gown, and you take the gown and you put it over there, and it steams. It's absolutely long as it's herbs. Usually, it's an herbal. It's a combination of herbal remedy that's for the vagina. That is correct. So it's nothing wrong with that. Those steams are actually good. And a lot of women have shown a lot of, saying that it was very invigorating. It helped them,
Well,
clears your
good.
mind. It's also, it was used also after menstruation, after times of menstruation, or if you just wanted to every month keep that cycle going. Now, I'm going to tell you, women, you never stop cycling. Contrary to what people said, you may not physically cycle, but you still cycle. So it's not bad at all. You can buy this right online. There's a kit that you can it's a steam for the vagina. It's
Right.
actually a steam cycle for the vagina. But there's also the yoni. They use these balls that actually strengthen those areas for things like Kegels. And Kegels help with, of course, when when you have to strengthen that area, if you're having weakness in that area of the vagina. So that's what it's for. Got it? But yes, my answer would be yes.
Okay. All right. What is RSV and how does an infant get it? RSV.
RSV.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What was the question though?
What is RSV and how does an infant get it?
RSV?
Flo, what's that? What is that?
Respiratory. You talking about the respiratory? Yeah, you're talking about what's happening with the children, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, that's actually a respiratory disease. A lot of children are getting respiratory issues because of lung issues. So what do you have to do? Inflammation in the lungs. You have to go back to keeping their lungs clear. For children, we recommend, not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent diseases, food for the soul. We give them things like elderberry syrup, the old Indian wild cherry bark syrup. Now they do have
this at 5 months.
That's what I'm saying. Let me help you with that. When you're at a child, when they're very young like that, you got to be careful. You use drops for them. You don't use something. Really, you got to make sure that they're diagnosed with something like that RSV. You got to make sure they have it. To keep them clean, though, usually it's very young. They can be, in the areas of those areas. It's a lot of that contagion going on right now, and a lot of children are catching it. So we got to keep the lungs clear. What is that? Like I said, elderberry. Elderberry's fine for children.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, elderberry syrup is excellent. The old Indian, they have a children's version. The only difference between the adult version and the children's version is that the adult version has a little grain alcohol in it. That's the difference. And whenever there's grain alcohol, that's always a preservative for the actual herbs itself, but it also opens up the areas so that the body can absorb the moisture and also the herbs. Now, if you ever have any tinctures at all that have grain alcohol, and you want to give it to children, you have to let it sit in about a cup for about 20 minutes, and then the alcohol dissipates. That's how we give children herbs if it comes from tinctures. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
That's important because, of course, you don't want to be giving a child something that has that grain alcohol in it. But if you sit it in a cup of water, actually just a regular cup. So if one dosage is about 30 drops into a cup, and for about 20 minutes, it will dissipate. Usually it dissipates. Yeah. All right.
Okay. What is Bacopa good for?
Okay. This child, he's actually in the hospital right now. So
yeah, they're with there. Well, there's nothing you can do about that. They're under the administration of the hospital. You can't bring nothing in there. You're not gonna be able to administer anything until they're out of there. And that's because you're under the auspices of insurance. You got all kind of crazy people out here, so they're going to make sure it's going to be locked in, especially because of the COVID-19.
Yes,
everything is going to be locked in. So when they come out, then you can start to administer things like that, but also any of the herbs that are for the lungs. But let me tell you, that old Indian, they have a children's formula, and the elderberry, which is the sambuca. That's what it's called. Sambucas, right.
Sambucas.
Yep, it's actually a black elderberry. It comes from Israel. And you can actually, you can see it. Sambucas. That's what it is. It's black elderberry.
Yeah.
All right?
Thank you.
All right. Sure. All right. Let's see. What else, Big B, you got over there?
Well, as an educator returning to the building for school, is it beneficial to wear masks and gloves? That's this whole thing, probably with Pennsylvania, a whole bunch of other folk now.
Yes,
It's at midnight tonight, that mandate, that mask mandate goes into.
Yeah. If you haven't read the news, the report today is that Philadelphia is back on the mask mandate, which it should be, which it should be. We are back to, and actually worse than we were last year. So, we did a whole 360 and a little bit more. We're back to where we were, family. And this just goes back to, again, they're putting it on the unvaccinated, which I really beg to differ. You can't be 70 to, in some cases, in some countries, 90% vaccinated and say it's the people that don't have it. That can't be. It can't be like that. It don't work. Everybody know that's bad math. That's just bad math. But I think it's a way of trying to get people to take the vaccine, and that's the thing. But again, I hear a lot of, and this is my concern. I hear a lot of fear. I fear, and that's what you can't operate in a spirit of fear.
Yes,
and that's what concerns me. That's what makes people nervous, is when you start talking fear. That's why people are backing up. Your first defense is to take defense. Got it? Your first thing is to say, wait a minute, don't do nothing. And that's why they don't realize they're scaring people to death. So that's why I'm telling you, you operate in a different philosophy, a different spectrum, which is natural, organic, a godly principle. And that godly principle is to feed your body, and the body corrects itself 11 times faster. So far, that's the only thing that's really working. And every time they bring it back, it's coming back to it every time. It's like every time they try to get away from it, they're going to come back again. Now they're talking about a booster. Wait a minute. Now you're talking a booster. You took us through a whole year of vaccinating. Over 166 million people have had at least two shots. At least one shot. So now you're telling me now you're gonna have to boost this up because that don't work no more. So this is where the confusion happens, and I think people are very, they just don't know what to do right now.
And some folks are just getting downright hostile about this whole thing because
what's happening in the South, y'all. They not taking it down there. They just said, did y'all hear what Rand Paul said? Did y'all hear what Rand Paul said?
No, I didn't hear what Rand said.
Oh, my goodness. Did anybody hear what Rand Paul said? Rand Paul, he had a whole statement. Maybe we can play it. I don't know. I can maybe pull it up. He really made a statement yesterday, man, that was really just a powerful statement. He was a doctor.
Right. Oh, you're talking about the old man. You're talking about the father.
No, that's Ron Paul.
Okay.
Rand Paul.
Okay.
Rand Paul is the one that actually, he's the one that did the whole investigating piece.
Yes.
He investigated Fauci, for that. And he just came out and he just unloaded yesterday, man. So maybe I can find that. I'll pull up the speech so everybody can see it.
Wow.
But I think everybody needs to see this, man. It was powerful. That's the talk of the internet right now. And he ended up getting banned off on YouTube, of course.
No, he didn't.
Unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. All right. What else we got there, Big B? What was I doing?
There was one here that, hold on one second, because my cursor got out of place. Okay, here we go. About diabetes. Can sugar diabetes really be cured with herbs?
There's an interesting word with cure. It's not cure, it's balance. Because the only problem there is dis-ease is imbalance. Right. That's the key. Now, what they will use the word cure, and that's a dangerous word because that means that you're claiming something that you can't do. We don't cure anything. We feed the body, and the body corrects itself, but you got to see where the imbalances are. That's the key. So what is the imbalances when it comes to diabetes? Concentration. We talked about that all last week. Remember, we talked about concentrated foods. Stay off of the refined sugar, refined salt, refined oils. That's what it is. Your body can't deal with concentration. Every time it sees concentration, that's dehydration. And every time you give me something like dehydration, I got to look for water. I got to find water somewhere. And if you're not drinking water, or you don't like drinking water, or you just don't, I got a bottle a day, then where's the body going to get the water from? Oh, well, if you don't give it to me, I'm going to shut this pancreas down. And that's exactly what happens. Pancreas stops making vital nutrients like vanadium, magnesium, and chromium, and then you stop making insulin. Now you can't generate this thing called insulin, which is the turnkey that opens up the cell in your cells to get your nutrients and your energy in. So now you can't get energy in your cell. You're malnutrition. You have insulin resistance issues. Now you have all these issues with now it's affecting your cells. So now you got this thing called neuropathy. Now you can't feel your feet sometimes. Now your feet start to get a little numb. Your hand get a little tight. You know, all of these are step down effects of the body tearing down because of your food choices. So yes, diabetes is a food eating disorder or imbalance. Got it? So you got to get back to feeding the body, staying away from those toxic foods, getting your water right, and we got to regenerate that pancreas. Because ultimately, if you start making insulin, your body literally cannot give you insulin when your body is making insulin. And if you, and who actually made, was that someone new that actually, that asked that question?
Ask that question.
If so, reason why I asked that, because I don't know if we had Reverend Halsley, our good friend, Reverend Halsley, came on our show, and he showed y'all along. He was a diabetic for over 9 years.
Yes.
And they went in and told him, you are no longer a sugar diet. You no longer have sugar diabetes. Give me your medicine right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Ain't that something, boy?
That's right.
Somebody say that, boy, you feel happy. You just go up with your chest all up like this. So yes, it is very real to put yourself back in balance. Got it? Be careful with the word cure, because that carries a lot of it. A lot. Got it?
That's almost a conflicting statement too. You say a cure. What is a cure? You know? You know, and listen, folks, I'm thinking my whole thing is that if your mind is not right, no matter what someone gives you, you will never be cured.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I'm saying? If your mind is not right,
yeah.
Remember one thing, you know, your body in its proper state, and you can bear me out on this, you know, your body will create for you any state if you believe it. You can be healthy. If you tell yourself, you know, the people in my family, no one lived past 51. Guess what? You keep believing that, you will die at 51.
Yeah. So you got to stay on top of this thing.
You got to stay on top of this stuff. Got to keep your head in good shape.
It all comes back to living a certain lifestyle.
Indeed. Most definitely.
That's a lot of the biblical principles that are based on, you know, balance, universal principles.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of what people are looking for is easy ways out of not taking care of yourself.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I don't want to exercise. Give me a vaccine.
I don't want any pain, Dr. Ball. I don't want no pain.
I don't want to eat right. Give me a vaccine. I don't want to exercise.
Oh, no.
Got me?
Gosh, you got to put in the work. You got to put in the work.
Come on now. Come on now. There's no exception for doing balance and doing the right thing. So you got to get back on the good foot.
And no excuse for doing nothing.
Yeah, that's right. And don't blame other folks for having more faith than you.
Help me now.
Man.
Okay.
You know, other folks that really have faith, man. There's some people that are really standing up and saying, you know, I'm going to stay on this thing. I'm going to trust God on this thing.
I know that's right.
And they're doing right, man. And they're staying strong. So,
yes.
All right. Okay, I'm going to go up to the top menu here. We got folks lining in, Big B, and I'm going to take my first one that I have at the top here with their hand raised, and that would be Karam. How you doing, buddy?
Excellent.
All right.
Everyone?
All right. Doing well.
All right, I have some two things for you. Are you familiar with tamarind balls?
Tamarind balls. I already had Yoni balls already.
No, we're in a different direction.
Hold it up.
Okay. Let me see if you different direction. With
maybe.
Here we go.
Maybe I'm okay. I got you.
Here we go. Can you see that?
Yes. Let me look over here.
I'll end up emailing it to you as well.
Okay, okay.
Later.
Sounds like a fruit from usually a tropical fruit. Is that what it is?
It is. I guess you're on point with that, but it's a
Yeah.
partially dried fruit. You're right.
Mhm.
Ding ding ding. A partially dried fruit used to make medicine. People take tamarind for constipation, liver, and gallbladder problems and
Right.
stomach disorders. It's also used to treat colds and fever. Women sometimes use tamarind to treat pregnancy-related nausea.
Okay, only one
Reason-
thing. Yeah, one thing you got to keep in mind. Okay, and then reason why I say that because I was just listening to the name that sometimes the name will give itself away.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you're seeing this is the lore of where it comes from in a lot of places. Got it? So
Mhm.
keep in mind, these herbs are autonomous, okay, which means that they have the strength and they're masters. So be very careful with these. Like the other ones would be like the goji, the acai berries, all those. They can be very, very strong, y'all. And in some states, almost hallucinogenic. So
Mhm.
be careful with. Don't mix a whole lot of that stuff together. So you'll notice that they yield their own energy. They have a lot of energy, man. Those little small things like the gojis, the tamarind. I'm sorry, the tamarind is like that too. When you take them, it's going to spike you. Remember, fruit stimulates.
Mm-hmm.
Got it? Vegetables stabilize. So that means that has a lot of energy and a lot of enzymes that burn fast. And being that it's from another country, and if it's from tropical regions, that means it's closer to the equator. That means it's going to be that much stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Got it? So be
Mhm.
very, very careful. I see some people, doing too much of that stacking. And when they stack those fruits from those tropical regions, it's gonna mess your it can throw your adrenals off a little bit.
Wow.
Got it? Gives you a little bit of too much edge.
Mhm.
You're like, whoa, what's up, man? Whoa, where Cameron go?
Bouncing off the wall.
No, you be bouncing off the wall. So just be careful, okay? I would say I would say first start to take it very slowly first. Try one or two. How many have you been taking so far?
No,
You didn't-
I haven't gotten to that point. Well, they've been sitting in my freezer. I only had one because I've never had it, and that was a few
Mhm.
months ago.
Uh-huh.
The thing is, these are from. I have a friend who's from Guyana, which is South America. Like,
Mhm.
both
Like I
close
said,
the
closer to
equator.
the equator. Closer to the equator. Yeah,
And
that's
she
right.
said, it just so happened, conversation. She said, something back when we were growing up, my parents used to give us tamarind balls to fight off whenever we had a cold. And I said, how you spell that? And I Googled it. And I went and bought some and tried one. So I figured I'd ask you about it.
Yeah, a lot of energy. You remember? A lot of energy. That speeds up. See, when you have a lot of energy, speeds up the metabolism. Speed up the metabolism, starts to burn out poisons, toxins, bacteria, viruses, stomach viruses, and all of that stuff. So good stuff, man. Good stuff.
All right. Well, actually, when I get finished asking the second question, I'm going to try another one. That'll be my second one.
Okay.
So now something else from Guyana that they do. It says it's from Suriname, but this came from Guyana. Have you ever heard of bitter cups?
Bitter
cup.
bitter cups.
Bitter, bitter cups.
Okay, now a lot of times these are different herbs. They may have a different name. Let me take a look at what. Do you have another name for what bitter cup
It's
is?
an actual cup.
It's in a cup.
Let's see.
Okay.
It's an actual cup.
Okay, that's just something. That's a cultural piece then.
Yes, and it's made out of wood, and you put either red wine or water in it. Let it sit overnight, and drink it. It's I'm told it's a blood cleanser, but that's what they do in Suriname and Guyana. And
Yeah,
real-
you're getting into a lot of culture. That's a lot of
Yeah.
culture for those regions. See, a lot of cultures will do different things based on the region they're in. That's why some people will
Right.
say, like, for example, you remember when Noni Juice was hot and everybody
Yep.
was buying Noni
Yep.
Juice?
Mhm.
Right.
But remember, that was a Tahitian drink. That was based on the people of that region. That's what they put together. That was their tonic based on where they live. Yeah, it did a lot of benefit for a lot of people. But remember, it was a specific thing designed for the culture of the people of that region. So that's why sometimes it can be beneficial, especially if you're malnutrition. But, just understand, and I always tell people to do the research with anything that you find. Do the research of where it comes from. It always goes back to a culture and a people and for where they live. Also find out where do they live, how far or close to or away from the equator are they, and you'll be surprised. You'll get some interesting responses from that. All right, good stuff, man. My
That's it.
buddies,
I'm
my
done.
buddies, my buddies from Guyana, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
run that by him. I'm gonna run
Okay.
that by him. Yeah, absolutely.
I'll email both of these to you,
Okay.
and at your leisure, you'll have it. So.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. All
All
right,
right,
thank you,
very much.
brother. Thank
All
you.
right.
Appreciate you, bro. All
Mhm.
right. All right, we got Helen over there. Helen?
How you doing, Dr. Paul? How's
Hey.
Phil? How's
Hmm,
everyone
All
doing?
right.
just
How you
fine.
doing? How you doing?
Good. Thank you. I have a couple things to ask you. This is the first thing I found here. I
Mhm.
tried. This is a popcorn. I guess you can see it real good,
Okay, let
and
me
it's
see
good.
here. Okay,
Can you
got
see?
it. Yeah, I think I can see it. Yes. I got it on
Mhm.
another screen over here.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay.
Okay. So it's got sesame seed. It's really good. It's got it's a good source of iodine, magnesium,
Mm-hmm.
and vitamin E. It's got a lot of good stuff, and it tastes pretty good. It's seaweed and popcorn, toasted sesame.
So what kind of seaweed did they put on it?
It says that it has
Like a kale?
it says seed lettuce
I mean,
powder.
a kelp or something like that?
Now that I don't see that on here. It just says
Usually they'll put like a kelp or spirulina on popcorn.
that's yeah, I don't know what they got, but I see it says a seed lettuce powder, sesame oil, yeast extract, inactive dry yeast, lemon juice powder, maltodextrin, lemon juice, black pepper, garlic.
Wait, back up. What was that one? Mal what now? Mal what?
It's a big word. It's maltodextrin.
Red flag.
What does that
Maltodextrin.
mean?
Maltodextrin.
Sugar. Yes.
Yeah, that's an alternative to sugar. Maltodextrin. You
wow.
You got to watch out. Family, that's a good one. I'm glad you brought that up. Maltodextrin is a
Okay.
sugar derivative, and it's put in a lot of foods. Watch
That's a
it.
no-no.
Right, especially if you are diabetic and you may be thinking that, oh, this is, it may even be tagged as,
Mhm.
Low in sugar. But here's the real skinny. Write this down, y'all. Maltodextrin, Maltodextrine, right? Maltodextrin, just an N. I think it's just the N. Okay, maltodextrin is a derivative of sugar, and here it is. Your body doesn't know what this is. Got it? There's also what's called polydextrin, both derivatives that are found in a lot of additive things like cakes, cookies, pies, bread. You'll see it in potato chips, barbecue chips. You'll see it in a lot of things. It gives a little sugary taste. Now, here's the problem. As a derivative, your sugar index usually rides around somewhere around 60, for the glycemic index. That's regular sugar. That's brown sugar, that it doesn't spike you high. Got it? That's kind of like a normal level. Maltodextrin kicks off at around 160 with that level of spiking. So you got to be very, very careful with that. They'll put maltodextrin also in a lot of health drinks, a lot of protein shakes, a lot of that stuff, man. Watch it. They'll even put it in green drinks. I've seen it in a lot of people's, companies' green drinks. Watch it. Stay away from it, especially if you are diabetic and you're insulin resistant, because your numbers are going to go sky high. I've even had the situation where someone bought me their product and I said, yo, this has maltodextrin in it. And they sat there and said, wow. I said, if you're diabetic, you can't mess with this. They were like, well, maybe that's what's going on. So they
Wow.
were thinking that they were doing better by taking this health drink, so they got off the sugar. They said, oh, I'm going to do better. I'm going to get a good green drink or something, and I'm going to stay away from all the stuff. But inside of there was maltodextrin. So when they started taking the green drink, they went back to the doctor, and their numbers were even almost double what they were
Wow.
last time.
Wow.
And they said, the doctor says, "What are you doing?" He says, "Well, wait a minute. I'm just taking this green drink. I thought I'm good." Maltodextrin. That's the spike right there. Got it? Maltodextrin, also polydextrin. You'll also see it in the granola bars.
Mm-hmm.
You know the health granola bars? You see it in a lot of health products.
Well, you got to read the labels, guys.
Yep.
Yes.
So watch that one. Watch that one, Helen, okay?
Now I have something, a jackfruit. You're safe with this jackfruit.
Uh-huh.
It just has water, sea salt, and organic lime juice. So we're safe with that.
Yeah, you should be good with that.
Okay. And then I have another one is cauliflower wings. It's just not organic.
Right,
That's
and remember,
something
and somebody mute yourself, somebody. Remember what's going on with that thing between organic, okay? It just means that doesn't mean it's not clear. Or that it's natural or organic. It just means that it hasn't gone through the trials for being certified as organic. You got it? See, there's a lot of organic foods that are still organic, but they haven't gone through the trials to be certified as organic. For example, you ever see the USDA on food? You ever see that on there? USDA, it says USD organic, right? What does that mean? That means that the food that you're seeing is really at least 95% organic. There's a giveaway of about 5% that's of the stuff that has not been certified. That's what that means. Only when it says 100% USDA certified, that's when it's actually official. Got it? So keep that in mind.
Now this is a Laura bar here. This Laura bar is one of my favorite bars. It says that it's no artificial sweeteners, good source of fiber, plant base, gluten free, and it has almonds in it. Almond extract, dates, and apple. That's what it's got.
Yeah, you should be good. So no added sugars, right? No added sugars or no maltodextrin or nothing like that, right?
Not that I could see, but it's just not organic. That's the only thing.
Well, remember, like I said, you know, unless they're telling you, remember in America, they don't have the obligation to tell you everything. Literally, they only verifiably, I believe it's like 12 items of ingredients that they're mandatory to put on there. If it has more than 12, they're only required to only give you 12.
Okay.
See, I'm telling you, man, this is deep. So if you got a candy bar that's got all these chemicals and it's got about 20 different things in it, they'll take the 12 of the 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy, y'all.
It's
crazy.
I
amazing.
have another question for you,
Okay.
Dr. Paul. This is something that one of my my parents is asked. I'm just asking this question for someone in my family. It's Australian Dream, and it's arthritis and pain relief cream.
What is it called?
Australian Dream.
Yes.
Australian Dream.
If you want to look it up, you can. Walmart sells it. Australian Dream is for arthritis, pain relief cream. It has histamine in it and dialdrol chloride.
Let me see if I can find the ingredients here. Let me see if I can find it for you. Okay. Can you see what does it say on the ingredients there?
Okay, so it has histamine on it in it, and it has I'm trying to get the word dialdrol chloride in it. I would think there's so many other things that you can do for pain relief. What is the problem? Right. Is it like shoulder, I'm asking
knees?
a question for someone that I know they're taking it, and I just wanted to know if it's safe for them to take. They're not necessarily using it. I don't know if they're using it for arthritis, but they're using it for pain.
Right.
So it's a cream.
Right. It's trying to reduce the histamine or the inflammation in those areas. Let me
Mhm.
tell you, I would say, with what are they putting it on, the knees or the shoulders or
I
the
suppose the legs
back?
or wherever they, feel pain.
I tell you, you know what? Don't sleep on the turpentine oil. The turpentine oil does incredible things for pain because it reduces and it deals with the bursa. The bursa is where a lot of the inflammation happens. The bursa is the actual pads, like the shoulder, meniscus tears, that meniscus that is actually like the pad in which your knee sits on. So those are the areas that really get the inflammation in the knees and the shoulders. And, I would try something like turpentine oil that really starts to soothe those areas and reduces the inflammation. At the same time, get off the acid foods. Make sure they're off on the acid foods. No acid forming processed foods. Watch the cheese, the fermented products, sodas, all those top 10 stuff we talk about. Got it. That's
Okay.
usually
And the
what it is.
last, the last question is, what, like when we eat salads, what are the best greens that we should have in our mix of, green vegetables for our salads?
Yes. The highest would be like, of course, spinach, arugula, things like that. Any of the spring mix, kale. This is this raw stuff that I would recommend. Any of those dark leaf greens are full of magnesium. That's what I would do. Even the purples, the radicchio, those good. Yep. A lot of good stuff. I would also somewhere around that romaine, but you got to watch romaine right now because a lot of stuff with romaine is not clean. There's been a lot of recalls on romaine. So
Right.
I'm trying to say use a combination of the purple and the green. That's what I would do when it comes to lettuce.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Always
Have a
good stuff, Alan.
blessed night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Appreciate you.
Dr. Paul, that you started, but you didn't finish the question of Bacopa. What is it used for? What's it good
Oh,
for?
Bacopa.
Yes,
Bacopa.
Bacopa.
It's actually one of those fun ones to say. Bacopa.
Bacopa.
Bacopa is what's called an aquatic. An aquatic is that it grows on both land and sea. But Bacopa has the great ability for stimulating the brain. I think everybody just woke up.
I need to rub some on my head.
Bacopa has the ability to stimulate brain activity and blood flow to the brain. So it's excellent for memory, concentration, focus. We give Bacopa to students when they're actually in heavy, like if you're someone, excuse me, their job entails a lot of deep thinking, concentration, focus. Athletes that deal with, like with Simone Biles, I would have gave some Bacopa. Her deal with those twisties, when she's dealing with those twisties. Bacopa has this beautiful way of transferring information from one hemisphere to the other. That's what makes this thing like this is it. Who asked that question, by the way? Who asked that question?
Denise.
Good question. Denise. Okay, so what Bacopa does, it has the ability to travel from the logic to the creativity and transfer easily, which means that you become more of a dynamic thinker. And your recall, it's one of those herbs for recall, so you can recall a lot of stuff. You ever seen like that, big, what I come in here for? Oh man, I can't do nothing.
Well, you know what? I asked the question. Because I'm getting ready to take some certification tests. So.
Oh really? Oh,
Yeah.
and somebody asked about Bacopa.
I asked
that
about
was-
it. I actually have some right now, but I asked about it because I'm going to.
Oh
take
yeah,
some certs soon.
that's it. That's your herb right there.
Okay.
Yep, and it's also a liver cleanse because remember, anything that cleans your brain is actually dealing with your liver first. It's cleaning the liver, so it's a blood cleanser. But remember, it's an aquatic, so it can be found on land and sea. Also, it's good for antidepressant issues for people who having like depression, anxiety, stress. anger. Big B, you ever ran anybody mad all the time?
Well,
Pray
you're not
for
getting me
him.
in
Pray
trouble.
for him. Pray for him. Get him some
Well,
Bacopa. Hey, you need, if
you
anybody
need some
show up,
Bacopa.
you need to chill out. If somebody say, "Hey, you take this Bacopa and you go lay down somewhere," yeah, they try to tell you, you better chill out. So
Dr. Paul,
Bacopa is a calmative, and it can do a lot of things to stimulate the pineal gland.
Good.
That's ultimately what I wanted to get into because it stimulates the endocrine system, and that's why it's a strong melanin generator.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, we talk about the triangle. You remember we talked about the triangle,
Yes,
the
yes.
grand triangle. The grand triangle is what? The pineal gland, the pituitary, and the hypothalamus. All of that works in together as a cycle. And remember, the pineal gland is the master sergeant. You remember that's the master sergeant sending out
Yes.
everything that needs to go out. So Bacopa is excellent. I take it on a regular. It keeps
When
me
should
sharp.
I take it?
Be sharp. That's right. I
Kim said,
love
when
Bacopa.
should you take it?
When? Yeah, when should I take it? Before I
When's your test?
Well, you know what? I haven't scheduled it yet, so I could take the test in about a month or so.
I would take it. You know what I take it? This is a little secret, just between us, y'all. Y'all ain't gonna tell nobody. All right, everybody
No.
on here, don't tell nobody.
Tell nobody.
This. I see you, Neitha. Just between us. This is how you make them herbs really work. Y'all writing this down? Write this down now. Write this down. When you just about to go to bed, take your herbs that you really want to be effective just before you go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And when you take that herb, you now start to regenerate when you sleep 20 times faster when it repairs. But you can't be getting up in the middle of the night going to the bathroom. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
You got to get this deep REM sleep where you don't get up all throughout the night. So remember, don't drink water after 7 o'clock. Try to take that Bacopa somewhere after your last meal. Right after around 7 o'clock. So you about an hour behind right now, Denise. I'm sorry.
Well,
But when you take it,
spell Bacopa?
Bacopa, Bacopa. There is a formula that you can get that I really love, and it's called that Bacopa formula. There's a combination of a lot of different other herbs together with that Bacopa. It's called Mind Care. Mind Care. And they have the three herbs that do the most when it comes to brain stimulation. So it's Bacopa, ashwagandha, and Gota Cola. Those are your three. Not the diagnose, treat, cure, preventing disease, just food for the soul, family, right? All right. Yeah.
And I have Bacopa.
Boy, you a heavyweight hitting squad over there, boy. I tell you, that test ain't got a chance.
I know that's right. Oh boy.
Good questions, Denise. All right. So I think I got that one out the way there.
Yes.
Let's see. Who else is on there, Big B?
I have a very serious one here, Dr. Paul, and I'm not quite sure how we can handle this. I have a question. She's got an individual that has a friend that's down south that made a terrible mistake, took full grade peroxide and DSMO, and his gut has been burning for a year. He's lost 25 pounds and can't eat anything, and he's thinking about taking his life.
DMSO.
What?
DMSO. This is
What can he do?
DMSO. Yeah. See, when you taking peroxide, there's a protocol. Okay, let me tell you, this is why you got to be very careful. There's a protocol. Peroxide has the ability to it's alkalizing, and that's why the mash units that used to be and back in that Big B.
Yes,
You
sir.
were
Back
doing it.
in the service. Yes,
What
sir.
did y'all use? Y'all use peroxide for
Peroxide.
keeping it clean, right?
Yep,
You don't. That's why when you go in the doctor's office, you don't smell pneumonia. You don't smell all that stuff around there on the floors because they don't use it. They use peroxide.
Peroxide, yes.
It kills odors and it kills also. That's what I keep in my car all the time. So ever since COVID been going on, I keep a little little thing of hydrogen peroxide where I keep it on my hands. Keep it on my hands, kills germs and stuff. You know, put it on my beard, whatever you got to do, and it keeps like if you're in the shopping carts and stuff, spray it on like a towel or something, and wipe the shopping carts down.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for certain things like that, but when you take it internally, you could be taking too much. Got it? That's why there's food grade and then there's medical grade.
Mm-hmm.
You got it? See, there's usually, if you get it online, you can probably, if you shop around a little bit, you'll find the medical grade, but you got to be careful because there's a protocol with that. And usually that's in only cases where someone has proper instructions and they really need it. I mean, I don't really recommend that only because of its ability to, you have to be very exact with that.
Mm-hmm.
DMSO is actually what's used to push in. That's what we use. See, DMSO actually changed the whole entire NFL.
Mm.
DMSO is what, you know, when athletes put like medicine on or like creams or something, like anti-inflammatory things on the top.
Sir. Yes,
well,
sir.
they would put a DMSO cream on the outside, Big B, and it pushes it in. You got it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what he actually did, he took peroxide and then he put DMSO and it just pushed it into his skin faster. So that means it was that much more penetrating and probably too much, way over the top. I would have never did that one.
Yes, yes.
No. Mm-mm.
I don't have that kind of heart, Dr. Paul. I don't have that kind of heart.
Yeah, that's too much. It sounds like he didn't have proper instruction on how to do it. And that's where you got to be careful with that stuff, you know. There's too many other things that you can do herbally to correct the problem. You know, I always tell folks to yield on nature's normal cycles and things first. That's why when people say, well, what do you think? You should get a colonic? I said, nah, you should start with a colon cleanse. Cleanse the colon by way you're eating. Change your eating habits. You know, only time you go into those extremes is when there's an extreme situation and it's critical.
Yes.
You know, I've seen times when people had to go in and get a colonic and they came out and it was like, you know, they went in with a cloud over them, came out, they had sunshine. You know, they were like totally different. But that's a specific time based on whatever that situation is. I would tell a person to get your diet right first. And we would give them herbs because herbs go in and they repair, feed, and are feeders and fighters and detoxers, all that in the same time.
And bear in mind, folks, when you're in the process of doing this, it took a long time to get where you are. It doesn't repair itself overnight.
You got it.
Be ready to do the work.
Yes.
You got to do that. That's important.
I'm sorry to hear that. But have them drop me a line. Maybe I can help them if I find out more information about what the brother's going through. So, but yeah, you gotta. Right now, you gotta soothe now because you got something in there that's. There's some things that you can do to help counter that. You can always counter it. But you got to find out more information. I would have to speak to him. Okay.
So whomever the person was that was on the phone, just go ahead and have him reach out.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is Adrian. I actually put that comment up because I'm
Adrian.
so desperate to help my friend.
Mm-hmm.
He is like so devastated that he made that mistake. And I'm trying to get him to go to the emergency room, but he said every doctor he saw, they kept giving him stool softeners. And then he saw an x-ray with all these dark spots, and he think that he got holes in his intestines. He thinks he's got a lot of thoughts going on that are not natural thoughts.
I would have more questions for him. Set him up for call the number, tell him, give him my number, and we'll do a phone consult. Is he in Philadelphia or is he
in Georgia?
He lives in Georgia.
Yeah, do a phone consult, because phone consults, even if you can't, family, if y'all can't sit down with me one-on-one, we can always do a phone consult and we can go over that. So we can ask for a phone consult. You have the number?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I actually was there last December with my autistic son, so I appreciate it.
Okay. Well, how's your son doing?
He's doing pretty good.
Okay,
Not
good.
bad at all. We got to follow up with you. We'll do that soon.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for
Thank
checking in.
you.
I appreciate it. And tell them be
You're
encouraged.
welcome.
Okay. Be
I
encouraged.
Indeed.
will. Thank
Indeed.
you.
Doctor, just to interject with the hydrogen peroxide, I brush my teeth sometime with it, and also in the ear. You know how you would take a half cap full of capsule in the ear. Is that okay?
Right. See, remember, you're doing it at a grade. That's why they put measures on hydrogen peroxide. See, most hydrogen peroxide, you're not going to go over about 3%. Got it?
Okay.
So that's why when you see the stuff for the ear, the hydrogen peroxide you see that we're spraying on our hands and all that stuff, and then that you're putting on, to clean things and keep things, that's all about 3%. Maybe you'll get 5, maybe.
Okay, gotcha.
But usually it's around 3 to 5%. So that's always being safe because they know that people can get too much of it. Got it? You know what also it is? Hydrogen peroxide is almost like there was a guy that let's see, go back in my memory. There was a guy that came up with this thing called MMS, Master Mineral Solution. Got it? Master Mineral Solution. And he was basing it off the same principles as like how hydrogen peroxide works. Because what happens with hydrogen peroxide, when you have a foreign invader in your body and the white blood cells go after it, and as soon as it attacks that actual thing, whether it's a bacteria, virus, fungus, parasite, whatever there's a reaction that takes place, and that reaction is very similar to hydrogen peroxide. You got it? So that's why it's so effective, because it has an alkalizing effect to destroy pathogens. So there was this guy that came up with this thing called Master Mineral Solution, MMS. Maybe some of you have ever heard of it. MMS. Right. And he was actually, and I'm just telling y'all the story so y'all can feel, you know how I tell these stories so y'all can remember stuff. So y'all say, what was that again? No, remember the story. All right.
What he said was,
remember the story. All right. So here's the story. Well, the guy he actually worked on ballistic missiles, but he retired and he started going to Africa to actually mine for gold. So he was deep in the woods in Africa. I think he was in Zimbabwe or Mali or somewhere, and he was deep in the rough, getting for gold. And he had all these workers, these African workers, and then as these African workers were digging for the gold and all that stuff, end up getting malaria. They end up caught malaria because the mosquitoes out there bit them, and then they started getting, and they got deathly ill. So in that meantime, he was losing money. He's like, man, all my workers are sick. I don't know what to do. And we're way out here in the bush. I can't get them back there. So he said, all I have is this solution for cleaning water. And guess what it was? It was the solution for, like, when you purify water, you take sodium chloride, which is salt, and citric acid, and you put them together. And then you make this little solution, and it's called chlorine dioxide. So he made this stuff called chlorine dioxide. He gave it to the workers. Next thing you know, 3 hours, in less than 3 hours, everybody was up laughing like, wow, what was that? What was that you gave us? And he's sitting there going like, whoa, this is a water purifier. And yet this water purifier actually rid these guys of the malaria they had. So he started saying, wait a minute, I better look into this. So he started going all around, he doing more research and found out that's where the Master Mineral Solution comes from. So it has the same principle of destroying pathogens, which is like it's like an antioxidant. It goes in and just cleans up all of the debris and bad stuff in your body. So that's the concept where I'm saying that a lot of the things that you see out there, you got to be careful because they're antioxidants. They're fighters, but they're not feeders. You got it? That's the key. They're fighters, but they're not feeders. So a lot of people are taking that stuff and they're keeping the pathogens away, but then they end up falling ill because they're malnutrition. So when you fight, you got to feed too. You got it? So that's what I have to say about that one. You got to really make sure you're balanced, feeders and fighters. So that means hydrogen based, dark leaf green vegetables, land and sea. That's the key, land and sea. If you can do both of those plus things like the hydrogen peroxide, that's what makes the difference. So so our friend that we were just speaking about, what he's probably having right now is a serious malnutrition. So the body's damaged and it can't repair itself because there's no food there. There's no energies. There's no hydrogen. You got it? That's the key. Got it? So be careful when you're using those formulas, and that's why they have protocols, and make sure it's somebody that's recognized protocol, knows their protocols. Got it?
Exactly.
Right. Good stuff. And if you want to look up that method, it's by a guy named Jim Humble. He has a book called the Master Mineral Solution for the New Millennium. That's what it's called. It's a book. Okay. Great book to read, though. Great book to read. All right.
Can I ask a question? There's been a treatment going around online about nebulized peroxide, food grade, with a mixture and saline and stuff like that.
Yep, that's been going on a long time. And
has helped with inflammation during like cold and flu season or COVID.
Yeah, that's what I said. You got to be adhered. Make sure you adhere to the protocols. Be very careful.
Okay.
Right. I don't think you have to go those directions because they're very extreme sometimes. And if you got folks that don't adhere to the protocols, and then they mess up, because it takes consistency, which is really what the person that's trying to get a quick fix really doesn't have to begin with. That's really exactly. So you see how it's sort of like it kind of defeats its purpose. So you got to be careful. I try to get people into rhythms and natural cycles and ways of life. So if you implement this as a way of life, then it corrects itself altogether. Yeah, got it. Okay, good stuff, Linda. Good stuff. All right. We got Queen Flo up there. Queen, did you actually have your question already? I think you already had your question.
I think maybe she got it.
Yes, I already had it. Thank you.
Okay, drop your hand.
Okay, Doctor, before we go to the next one, I just want to remind some folks there was a question here about, I guess, some folk who can't seem to get off on Wednesday evening because they have prayer meetings and things like that. I just want to remind them that they can go to the Dr. Paul Health Network, okay, and join the group there. And you'll find that after about Friday, the programs will be there because we take it. And when we get done here in the evenings, I take all the information. We provide a chat from that's already been a part of the program and edit the program and upload it so that if you miss it on Wednesday night, you can always come back to Dr. Paul's Health Network and get access to the program. Okay?
Just want to remind everyone. That is correct. That is correct, family. And if you are someone, and Big B, I can actually, you know what I might do? Let me take a little quick shot and let me screen share. I'm going to screen share. Let's see, where are we? Right here. Right there. Yep. Tell me when you can see this, okay? Can you see
coming. That? You got it now. There you go.
Okay, so family, this is where you want to go to on Facebook. Just go right to the Holistic Health Network. It is our private group. Got it? We're about 907 members right now. And all you would do is drop me a line on Facebook and we'll invite you in. Got it? Well, there's like two questions you ask. I think one of the questions is, what is your health goals? And are you ready to be transformed by the renewing of your mind?
Yeah, that's a deep one right there. Because some folk be fighting the funk and won't go ahead and do what's necessary.
So once you do that, I'll let you in. All right, I'll let you in. Yep.
Amen. Say, guys, you see that last thing down on the bottom on the right? You see, Dr. Paul put that up earlier, and you know what? See, you think you got lemons, or was that oranges, and it had no seed?
Yes. Did y'all see this that I posted yesterday?
Yesterday, yes.
Y'all see this? Hold on, let me pull this up, Big B. I'm glad you mentioned this. Yes, this is something that I posted yesterday.
How about that?
Can y'all see this? I was yesterday, I sort of scout around, and I'm trying to look and see who's doing what. And I'm always looking for seeds, so I'll grab, usually what I try to do when I'm testing like a store, I'll buy 3 of those objects. So it'll be like 3, lemons. I'll try to do whatever it is. If it's a tomato, 3. I try to do 3s.
Right.
If I'm testing. And the reason why I do that is because you got one, you open one up, and you want to do the other one. I hope I see the same thing in there. If it's different, then the third one usually is the deal breaker. That usually is. So that's what I do to sort of see what's going on. So I've been following, a lot of different ones, and I noticed that the only one that was never having, I always kept seeing seeds, was the lemon. Until yesterday. Yesterday, I opened this up. This is right after I opened this up.
How about that?
I cut this open. It looked like somebody just stole my seeds. Doesn't it look like it? Look
not
at
a seed in a joint.
It looked like somebody just pitted it out of there.
Yeah.
But that's freshly when I cut it. No seeds at all.
That's deep.
That's amazing. And you know what they're doing? They're doing this to whenever you want to destroy or denature something, you mess with what's called the manganese. Okay, manganese, actually, you turn it and you alter it and tweak it, and you do what's called you can actually they got patents on this stuff. And it's a termination gene. So they terminate it so that they modify the manganese so the seed, the ability for the fruit, it does not have the ability to reproduce itself again. That's how they do it.
No, that's crazy.
Ain't that crazy?
That's deep.
But I pulled this up and I said, I can't believe this. I need to go back and say, look, you gonna eat this.
Yeah. It's why we have to be careful, family.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
No seeds. If it's no seeds, it's no fruit no more.
Yep.
So I would suggest, the whole purpose of that post was to show people pay attention.
Yes.
They think you're not paying attention. You don't care. It's a lemon. You don't care. You're not gonna put it right in your water when you go to a restaurant. Are there seeds though? That's the key. Seed is the life. Remember, the byproduct, the essence of the energy of the fruit is the seed. The byproduct is the flesh.
Yes.
So you need something with seeds. And they just destroyed our grapes. Our grapes are totally gone, y'all.
Yes.
Our grapes are totally gone. I mean, if you find grapes, you almost got to buy them online to get them specially shipped to your house. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. Okay. All right. So that's the page right there. Sign up, family, join it. And then you can get all of the past shows for the WURD, my show, Dr. Paul Herbs on Saturday, Green Hour with Bill and I on Sunday, or this family tree. So if you're coming back from church, your appointment, wherever, and you want to share it with somebody, you can join the group or have the other person join the group and they can get everything they want to. And we're going at what? We're over a year now, right? Almost a year.
Yes, sir.
Almost a year doing we're almost a year now going in with the family tree. So and you got more than a year with the shows that we did with WRD.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
All right, family.
I just want to remind you, and also remember too that at the end of each program, you want to send, if you want a copy of the chat, just send an email to me at mechavideo@gmail.com. I'll put that in the chat in a minute, and make sure you get access to that. And guys, do yourself a favor, as you request that, remember to go back and take a look at the program. So some folks tell me, well, I've got the chat, but it doesn't go with Dr. Paul's mouth, what he's saying. That's because you got to do that and watch the movie too. Watch the video as well, because it brings things back to you. Okay.
Yes.
Remember, we talk almost like in code when you're in the chat. So when you get that, then go back and watch the program so that you can share with your family. And folks say, oh wow, then they'll find out how smart you are about coming to the tree every Wednesday. How about that?
There you go. Sounds good to me. All right. I got Michelle on. Michelle?
Okay.
Michelle?
Yeah, if I raise. Yeah.
Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. Hey, Bill, how are you?
Just fine, Michelle.
That's good. I'm just curious about this, and it's just been on my mind. Like, how did that? Okay, I know we're in the pandemic and everything. How is it that people are constantly getting sick, especially now that, summer's just about gone, but is it still possible that people are still getting sick from this virus even in the summer? And could it be that they are vitamin D deficient?
Well,
Just curious about
yeah,
it.
I have. There's a lot out there, y'all. I have my spin. I've told you what my spin is from day one. I believe that we have always been a sick community already, and that when this thing was coming this way, we were talking about this before COVID hit. I said we're gonna have a problem, and the problem is that we already have inflammation. So when you take something like variants and things like that can easily cause flu-like symptoms and things like that, your immune systems are already destroyed because you don't have any labeling laws on your food. There's no protection devices. There's more pollutants in our food than anywhere on the planet. Do you hear that? That's real. That's real talk. I mean, that's real. And that means that we have no safeguards with what is being put in the food. Like I was talking about just the things like the candy bars. All the candy bars are genetically modified.
Yeah.
Wow. Any M&M lovers, Snickers. Oh, I just stepped on somebody's Snickers. Yep.
Help me, Lord.
Help me, Lord. Help me. Help me, Lord. Step on my Milky Way.
I like Snickers.
She said, I just had to step in and say that. All right, but when you look at that Snicker, I want you to take that, because some of y'all got them right now, eating them while we talking right now. Just look up that little pad. There's a little fold-over piece. I want you to actually open it up. And it says under there, made with what? Genetically modified. Yes. Ingredients. Yep. Genetically engineered ingredients. Got it? So this is what I'm saying, that when you have now, you're trying to fight disease and stuff, and you got all this stuff in you. There's no way you're going to be able to fight this, y'all. There's no way. Everyone that's coming through my office, everybody's acidic. Seriously acidic. Too much acid in their body. So what's spreading it is probably the fact that one person is because one person's his immune system is just as weak as the other. That's what I'm thinking. That's why I put those, when you start getting those green drinks together, when you start taking these herbs, you start building that immune system up, clean that blood. That's why I came out with those those blood cleansing herbs, because you need it right now. You need that. You got to keep your blood clean with all this stuff, because pathogens and things that are in the air, smoke, emissions, electromagnetic fields. Can I keep going, y'all?
Man,
come on
please,
now. There's
please.
so much going on.
Y'all. I know that's right.
Especially because you live in this thing called, America, and these cities. These cities are the worst of worst. So that's my spin, Michelle. I would say that, people are sick because they were already sick to begin with.
So true.
Yep. I believe they were already sick.
Yeah. So thank you, Dr. Paul.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, I got a funny question. Now, if there are no seeds, how'd they make that lemon?
Special seeds.
Don't you start.
I'm trying to tell y'all, they got trade secrets. I'm telling you, that's how they turn this whole thing around.
Is there grafting somewhere going on?
See, you got to go back to those early documentaries when it started talking about the GMOs.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy, man. They wanted to get the guys out, so they told the farmers, all right, you know what? We got these special, seeds that already have the pesticide in them.
Yeah.
And then all of the farmers were like, wait, he said, yeah. So if you actually if I give you these seeds, they already have the pesticide in them. You don't have to buy any pesticide. So you cut almost like your inventory, your liability of how much you have to pay for pesticide in half or totally. You don't have to buy pesticide. So every farmer was like, yo, yes, I want it. But what they forgot to tell them is that when they actually planted those seeds, And then when they got the harvest, you get 2 harvests. You get a crop harvest and you get a seed harvest. They get the seed harvest and they ready to get them, and then they ready to replant them. And they say, whoa, wait a minute, Big B, you can't plant them. And you say, well, why? I bought these. He said, nah, they belong to me.
To me, yes.
That's my patent.
Yes.
So technically, my patent is in your ground. So technically, I own your soil.
See, that's what happened to New Jersey. It's supposed to be the Garden State.
That's exactly what happened. So that started, and they eliminated the seed farmer. Seed farmer was the first guy to go. That's the one that they got in, and they said, well, that's the seed farmer is the guy that when you had a bad crop, he would come around and just sell you seeds. You know, he was the seed guy, but guess what? Got rid of him. That's the first guy we got to get rid of. And then those who did not join, they just muscled them out. You know, that's why we have less than 1% black farmers in America right now.
Yes.
That's the reason why. You got it? There is a oh, you know what I wanted to share with y'all? I'm glad we're talking about the seed thing. There is and I wish I could find one closer, but there is an organization. Let me see if I can find it. There's an organization, and I'm going to find it, that you can order and have organic, fresh fruits and vegetables sent to your house.
Yes, I saw that too.
Every day, or every week, or whatever you do, and it can be drop shipped, so you can have it all the time. And it comes from black farmers. Does that sound like something y'all want?
Yeah.
Oh, Lee's.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
Yes, sir.
All right, boy. I gotta stay. Okay, I
got
got
that
you.
right.
Keep that
You
money
got
in the
that
family,
right,
Dr.
Doc.
Paul.
You got that right, Doc. What you holding up on us, Doc?
Need
You
to support
holding
the
up
family, man. What you talking about, Willis? You just not telling us that?
Are you now telling us that? You should have told us that 3 weeks ago. Yes, I got it. I got you. I got you. All right, hold on. Let me hold your horses.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can grab it for you. And I would say everyone subscribe to it. I was going to bring this person this group on my show on Saturday's show. So let me see if I can get it.
That's important. Something.
Yeah, it's called. Now here it is, right here. Let me go to the website. I got it. All right, y'all ready? All right. All right, and this is called, and I'm gonna share my screen.
Yes.
I got it. So y'all don't yell at me. Go on now. Hold on.
Not too loud, anyway.
Not too loud. That's right. All right, let me see it here.
Yeah, see, stuff like this is extremely important.
Yeah. All right, here it is. Let me know when you're there. Got it?
Got it. Better boogie.
Better buggy.
Better buggy.
Better
boogie.
It's called Better Buggy. Okay, Better Buggy. You would go to the website, promotions, new products, and sales directly to your inbox. You put your email in. I already did this before, but I'm going to put another one in. I guess it's not going to allow me to do it. Oh, yeah, it's probably not going to allow me to do it right now while I'm on. Okay, so Better Buggy, black-owned farms delivered. Got it? And that's thebetterbuggy.com.
Got it.
You got it? Y'all got it, family? Thebetterbuggy.com. Now, here's what they do. They do shippable produce by boxes. They do a little bit of everything. Let me just scroll down. Support black-owned farmers. We've committed to providing access to organic produce from black farmers. Commit to making a difference. When you subscribe, you're empowering multiple black-owned businesses. This is also protect our environment. Our packing is biodegradable, installation, and recyclable boxes. So this is all good stuff, y'all.
Deep.
All good
that's
stuff.
That's deep, man.
All good stuff.
I just subscribed, man.
So here's one right here, which is probably the most popular. What you got to stay on top of it though, because as you see, they sell out real fast. So it's like this is one of the boxes right here, and you can get this fresh fruits and vegetables I think this is a vegetable box right here. And it has 100% organic farms, fresh produce, supports multiple black-owned farms, 4 to 6 servings per food type. Some products produce picture may be unavailable due to seasonal shift. So some of this stuff, like you said, there's a seasonal shift. So they're just going to give it based on your, of course, the season. But if you set it up on a drop ship regular, like every month or once a month, they're just going to give you what's in season for that particular product or produce. Got it? So here's another one. You see they got some apples in there. You got it?
Great. That's great.
Got it. All organic, y'all. This is all organic, okay? And then there you go. Better Buggy. And this supports black farmers.
Okay.
Got it? How about that, y'all? Here's all these. Look at all these. Very professional. 5 stars all across the board. See this, y'all? Excellent.
See, that's what's up.
That's it. You got it? So you can do, I would suggest everybody just support them and just drop ship on all of them. You know, everybody do at least a box a month. You know, you could do something like that. That's going to all go to our black farmers, which means that we can now support a lot of the black farmers that are in those areas. Now, they're coming out of Atlanta. That's coming out of Atlanta. And I was really doing research trying to find out if there was any connection up here. But then I sort of answered my own question that, you know, the closer to the equator is down there. So their stuff is going to be a lot stronger anyway. But, you know, so it makes a difference. But I'm sure you can also do a gift card to somebody. If you want to send somebody a gift card, that's a great gift. You know, you might want to donate a box to a person. You might give them one for their birthday, something like that. So it's a great thing. Got it? How's that sound? Y'all like that?
Yes.
That's great. Great.
Yeah. If you can go in here to Atlanta Harvest, I'm sure they can give you more detail. Actually, the last time I was on here, I saw more stuff on here. I don't know. They might be updating the website. They may be updating the white. Yeah, because I think they're going to get merchandise because I saw different ones. You can also make donations too through PayPal. Okay. Got it. All right. All right, family. That's it. The better buggy. The better buggy.
Yes.
All right. Better boogie. That's what Bill said.
The better boogie.
That's what Bill said. The better boogie. That better boogie website.
Yes, sir. That's what's up.
All right.
Dr. Paul, have you actually ordered from them yet, or
no? That's why I haven't brought it to light until y'all start talking about seeds. So I was trying to do the due diligence first, but I heard so many good things by them.
Okay.
You know, so I always like to, you know, before I bring it to the, you know, to the public, whether the radio or any media or social, I try to just check into it. But I think that's a winner all the way around, though. I mean, I just like the cause of what it represents. It brings our people back together, and also it's coming from a good source, which is in Atlanta, you know, which is down by the sun. You got it. So explore it, y'all. Tell me what you think. You know, order something. You know, I was actually reaching out to them to get one of the either the farmers or one of those that run the site to actually, or the organization to be on the show. That's what I wanted to really do it right. But y'all got the jump now.
That's a great idea.
That's just a great thing for us as a family just to support.
Yes,
I think that's
yes,
all, you
yes.
know.
I wanted to ask a question.
Sure.
All of a sudden now everything is going back to the mask. Okay. Such a high uptick. First of all, before I go there, I just miss our classes. I just thought about you don't miss something to when you can't till it's not available anymore.
I know.
But just the fact that I was just telling my girlfriend, you had all the different herbs, anything you could think of that you needed for your body, it was there. We miss you. God,
yeah, I miss y'all so much too. I really do. I mean, I was in such a routine. I mean, for a long time.
You had us in a routine.
For a long time, I was making tea and saying, "Doggone it, ain't no class tonight." I was still making tea, so I'm like, I can't do it. Yeah,
we had to. This mask thing, okay? Like,
yes.
You have the TV, you have everybody, you have your friends, you have so many people like coming at you. I just happened to be in church, not this Sunday, it was a following Sunday. And then the conversation didn't relate to me. It was my girlfriend. I try to keep my mouth shut. I really did.
Okay.
But when you start throwing in God, I get a little, So basically what happened was she was saying that she was angry. Her daughter wouldn't get the shot. She wouldn't give her kids the shot. Her son, she wouldn't let in the house because he wouldn't get the shot. And then she said, and then they got the nerve to talk about they following Christ. Well, I was fine until she said that. Because then I said to her, just like you felt like you were following Christ to get the shot, they're following Christ in their view not to get the shot.
Right.
She wanted to kill me in church. Okay. So what I'm saying what I'm asking you is, like, why don't they there is as many doctors that are against the shot as there are for the shot? Why don't they put them on a panel to let people make a decision?
Because they're fearful. They're very fear of the information that's going forth. The establishment that's going forth is giving you only one side. It's a pro side. I always tell people, you want to know both sides of everything you do. We've been taught to do that, from the time we're in school. Whether you're buying a house, buying a car, buying clothes. Come on, ladies, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all
Absolutely.
This don't. I ain't buying that. You do all the checks and balances. And whether you got clothes, your car. Matter of fact, if you eating a sandwich, you want to know what's on your sandwich.
Right. Amen. So true.
That's true.
But yet, we're do it, trust us, and that's what's concerning people. And then when you only have a pro image of that, on, one media, that's what concerns everybody. But I mean, people aren't stupid. People talk.
That's right.
And also, not only do people talk, but people have experiences that they're going through that they're sharing with other families.
Right.
And that's why you can't get past this thing called alternative media is really what's showing people what's really going on. Right. And you can't stop that. You can't stop alternative media. It's out there. It's out there. And with the phone, you have the ability to pick up the phone and dial into around the world. You can see what's going on. Right. So my spin on it is this. You got to make me totally believe that God has failed me.
Right.
Amen.
That's where I'm at.
You got it? Before I can do whatever you're telling me to do. I mean, that means that God has totally failed me. And now that everything that means that living right, eating right, walking right, exercising, all the things that the Bible gives us principles and ways of living. Through Deuteronomy and Leviticus, the things you shall and shall partake in, not eat of, and shall not eat of, and all these things. If I can do all these things, and still you say, and then still be sick, then you can say an argument that this is something. But never have I ever had that situation where I've seen someone not get well. So proof to me that it don't work before I have to take that. You got me? Gotcha. Sounds more credible if you're looking to say I'm just doing it God's way. You got it. That's it. If God wanted us to do that, he did a couple of. I heard one naturopath. He said, if God wanted you to be poked and jabbed and cut open, he would have gave you a zipper.
Well, hallelujah. I know that's right. So very true. Yes.
So that's my spin, on the whole thing.
Like what I just tell my friends, it is as many doctors that totally against this as there are for it.
Oh yeah.
But they don't allow you to hear the other doctors.
And that's what's dangerous, because this is the part that's dangerous. And the part that's dangerous is that people know this. People know it. I mean, you pick up the phone and you're going to go to these other alternative sites. I mean, the children are bringing this to me. My son and his buddies, they on top of this thing. They bringing me stuff. I'm like, where'd you get this from? They were talking about when the magnet was sticking on people.
Yes.
And then the other one where the people were lighting up is called Luciferos, where they actually are glowing.
Yes,
Oh man,
yes.
there's so much stuff, man, that's out
Yes,
here. There's
yes.
tons of stuff out here. You got to look at it and say like, yo, what's going on, y'all? So that's where I would say. That's why the main thing I try to keep people on. You can't fall into this rabbit hole of deception and diabolicalness and all the crazy stuff. Don't get caught up in it. You know, keep your eyes on Daddy.
Yes.
You got it?
Yes.
That's like when Peter got out the boat. Remember when he said, "Come at Peter"? He's out on the water. What happened?
I know he took his eyes off.
Started walking. He started looking around. He's like, I'm in the water.
Trying to high side. Yo, look at me, boy. I got it going on like that.
When he started looking in the water, he started looking around like, you know, take it, do this, do that. Next thing you know, he's like, Peter, you're sinking, bro. You're sinking. He had to pull him up. Said, don't take your eyes off me. You got it? That's it. That's what you got to remember. You got to stand on it. That's really living the Christian walk. That's the Christ walk.
Yep.
You know, it's to do what Daddy told you to do. You know, stay in focus. You know, he wouldn't leave us out here like this. And that what you're experiencing is something that's beyond what we're to deal with. You know, Daddy got this thing. You just keep it focused on your health. You got it? Keep yourself clean. That's the best thing you can do. Keep yourself clean. Keep washing your hands. Keep doing all the stuff. And you keep
green drink.
Hey, that's right. Walking the walk, live a righteous life. That's what they're saying. That's why this is the time for you to examine yourself. This is the time for you to examine yourself because you got to start living a more righteous life. That's what the time we're in.
Yep.
Got it?
I'm glad you mentioned.
I miss you too.
The green drink. Someone asked the question, if I made the green drink and if I put it in the refrigerator, is for overnight, is it still as good and potent as it was from before?
Yeah, you don't want to keep things that are alive with those live enzymes longer than about a day, like a day. Yeah, always make your green drinks fresh. That's what I say. You know, always keep them fresh. Don't, because anything that's alive is going to run rancid in about like a day and a half.
Yes,
it's going to run rancid, which starts to tear down. So that's like when you do teas. Like people were asking about the red onion tea. They said, "Well, how long can I keep that red onion tea?" And some people made it and just kept it in the fridge and kept. No, it's running rancid now. It's tearing down. So if you want to make it fresh, probably every day or so, a day and a half, no longer than a day and a half. Yeah.
Dr. Paul. Dr. Paul?
Yes, Adisha.
Yes.
Can I interject? I'm sorry. Excuse me. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, thank God. I just wanted to interject that there is another site you can go to, Free Haven Farms in Longside. They also offer organic vegetables and fruits.
Excellent. What's the website again?
Free Haven Farms with a S as in Sam. FREEHAVEN Farms FARMS.com.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
See, we have to be able to bring these things forward, you know, because, you know, there's so much out here we don't know about, and we need to be binding up more with with our organization and groups. I want to see if I can connect with them. Maybe we can even get a special thing going on for the family tree. How about that? Y'all think that might be something?
That sounds good.
I think we may be able to link up with these folks so we can have our own little co-op right here. How about that?
Wait, is that Free Haven? Can you type that? Can you type that in the chat so I can make sure that I have it?
Yeah, I have it right here. Let me show you. I'm gonna
okay.
Put it on mine. I got it up on mine already.
Okay, good.
Yes, that's it.
Free Haven box subscription. This is the kind of stuff that we need. You know, see alongside farmers. Yep. Subscriptions, fundraising.
We don't see it yet, Dr. Paul.
Oh, you don't see it?
Free Haven Farms with the S. Maybe that's
No. I'm here. Y'all don't see that? Y'all can't see that screen? Hold on.
Free Haven Farms, though.
I see. All right, hold on. Let me see if I have the right one. Let me see here.
It just wasn't showing.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. I got you.
Oh yeah.
You need to get your
There you
fresh
go.
box.
Got it. Free Haven.
Educational.
It said educational farms.
That's why I didn't see it. Okay.
Right. But I punched in Free Haven. I punched in what you
Yeah, I
had.
didn't do education. I got it anyway.
All
As long as
right.
you got it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. That's good stuff. Thank you
Yep.
so much.
Make sure you put that in the check.
Yes, I'm going to save that also.
Okay.
Save that link. That's a good piece. Keep that in mind, family, and also I encourage family to do your research. Get online,
And
start
beautiful farm.
doing those certain things. We're gonna definitely meet yourself, y'all. Meet yourself. Somebody's on a little high. Okay, I don't know who that is. Big B, you got somebody on there? Let me mute everybody.
Let me see here. Okay.
Okay. All right. Got it. Okay. Let me go down the line because we're about to run out of time here. So
Right.
I'm gonna try to go down the line as fast as I can. If we've talked to you already, can you drop your hand for me? Absolutely. And I'm gonna try to get through as many people as I can real quickly because I know time evades us. So let's see. I have right now. Is that Cecilia?
Yes, it is. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Mm-hmm.
I have a couple of questions actually. The first one is for my son. He's on the line too, but he's trying to take care of his dad who has dialysis. Who has what's it called? Diabetes, and he's on dialysis, and he has this bowel incontinence going on.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted to know if it's something to harden his bowels.
Yeah. Definitely he would have to come in for an assessment with that. There's multiple chronic conditions there. And when you're dealing with dialysis, diabetes, those are, he would need an assessment. And then from there, the medications and everything, when he comes in, he would do that. Is he in the Philadelphia area?
Yes.
Okay, definitely I would say he would have to sit down. Because it's going to get, there's a lot of back and forth questioning that I would have before any recommendations. You always have to do that. The RM3A would definitely be something that I would recommend. The Works, we have this thing called the Works, where we basically give you a blood pressure monitor, oxygen odometer, place your feet on these pads called the galvanic skin response pad. And then from there, we can see what's going on. In about 15, 20 minutes, scans the whole entire system. And then it comes back with what's called 8 risk factors. So with that, from that data, we can give a recommendation of things that, based on where the numbers come back. Okay, so an assessment would be in order. Okay. In general, though, I can tell you in general, when you talk about, you were talking about intestinal. What was he saying about? What were you saying about the intestines again, specifically?
It's called bowel
incontinence. Yeah.
Incontinence. Right. So what's happening is there's a weakness in there, but I would have more questions for that. I wouldn't want to get into it over the phone, but definitely assessment is in order. Okay.
Makes sense.
All right. Thank you.
I got a couple more questions for you.
Sure.
Okay.
I've been trying to stop eating meat since like December, but I started doing this plant-based meat, and now I'm here, and that's not good for you either.
Well, it depends on which one you're doing. Which one do you have?
Like the Impossible Burger.
That's the bad one.
That's the bad one. That's the bad one.
It's impossible.
That's
It's not possible. No, it's not possible.
No, it's not possible. No. Lord,
all right.
So what's happening? Let me tell you.
Beef burger.
Well, let me tell you what the problem is. They're using number one, canola oil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the main one. And then some of them do have GMOs in them, so you got to be careful. I would suggest going to nongmoproject.org first. That's where I would go. And then after you go there, then narrow it down to which one does not have canola oil. Okay, that's the key. Because canola oil, I told you it's a synthetic. It's not even real.
Right.
And people are having cholesterol issues, and it's backing people up, and it's not good. So you got to really get the intestines moving, but don't mess with no canola oil. You're going to guarantee be on the statin. Because it's going to clog arteries and veins. Yep. Get the canola out of everything that you have, family. I mean, everybody, when you're home right now, after this is over, go through all of your food and look for canola oil. It's going to blow your mind. You know, they really have pushed this as a health product. It is totally it will mess you up bad. So just be careful, okay?
Okay.
All right. And
yeah, I've been trying to do the sea buckthorn flaxseed oil and oregano and all in one capsule. Like, am I doing too much?
It depends on what what's going on with you. You know, you have to, if you're going to take all of that, you got to know what each one does.
Right.
Now, do you know what each one does and what your goals are?
Not offhand, but I kind of heard you talk about them, so I know I need them, so I just put them all together.
Right. Keep it.
One size fits all, Dr. P.
Doc, and keep it moving. No, I got you. You said it must be good, right? So here's what you got to do now. Here's what you got to do. Remember what they're used for. Okay, you said the black seed oil. That's liver. That's blood. That's cleansing. Got it? That's what black seed oil does. Sea buckthorn is excellent because it's for all your omega 3, 6, 7, and 9. So it blows away fish oil. Throw all your fish oil away, y'all, because you don't need it. Get you some sea buckthorn. That will deal with all the connective issues, connective tendons, issues with your, joints, ligaments, things like that. That's the better of all of them. And plus, it's a plant. And what was the last one you said?
Oregano.
Oregano, which is another one which is very good for the lungs. That's also a COVID protection. That's immune builder. It's good for all 5: bacterial, viral, fungal, septic, and parasitic all together. So actually, that's not a bad combination. You just gotta know what you're doing, and you gotta drink a lot of water.
A whole lot of water.
That's going to demand a lot of water. You got it, because when you have herbs that are going to do their job, they're going to say, all right, well, still, I'm going to go out there and grab that stuff for you. I'm going to grab that bacteria, virus, do all the stuff I got to do. But when I arrest the situation, I need you to wash me out. You got to flush it out. You got to drink water. Usually the sign happens when people start to get you get headachy, or you get nauseous. Usually one of those, that's the sign that your body's saying you're dehydrated. You got to get your water right. Half the body weight in ounces. Stay away from purified, filter, reverse osmosis, and distilled waters. Got it? Get your spring water, bottle at the source.
Yeah, I got that.
All right, you ready to rock and roll over there?
I am. And I also had a question about the oil pulling.
Okay. Now the oil. Yeah, go ahead.
I brought the stuff a long time ago. I never did it just because of the fact of oil in my mouth. It just makes me sick thinking about it. So I finally did it the other day, and I didn't do it too good, I don't think, because I kind of spit it right back. So is it a way to get through it, like, or I have to just keep doing it and practicing, or?
Well, what oil did you use?
The one from Pollock Herb.
Right. Well, what kind of oil?
Organic sesame oil.
Right. So that's a good one. I mean, you can use other oils also. You can use coconut oil. Just as long as it's unrefined oil, you can use any oil, and it'll actually use.
Can she put a little bit of peppermint drop in it?
She could. It could help it out, but you could just as easy as change the oil. I mean, sesame oil we use because it is one of the better oils. So if you want that, do you have the instructions on how to oil pull, right? That's on my website. If you go to the website, did you get the pull down instructions on how to do it?
No, I thought you just put it in your mouth and squish it around and spit it out.
But pull. Go to my website and pull that down, okay? Go to the website, drpaulherbs.com, and then go to the
downloads. Yes.
And you'll see the instructions on how to do it, okay? And gives you also some literature on that, so you know what you're doing, okay? And it'll tell you how to do it and, how often, things like that, okay? Give you proper instruction. All right?
Thanks so much.
Can I interject for a minute with the oil pulling?
Sure.
I've been doing it for a while, and you know what you can do, sister? What you can do is, when you put the 2 teaspoons or tablespoons in your mouth, just deflect a little bit and go do some things like around the house or something, like, do something, and it'll kind of take your mind off of it. Definitely do it on an empty stomach for sure, because it can be a little nauseating initially, but I have found that if next thing I know, I've had it in my mouth for 20 or 30 minutes. And then by the longer you keep it in your mouth, the more toxins are released. And I have found my teeth are whiter. My gums are not bleeding anymore. I mean, it has really, really, really helped. And I've been doing, I guess, for about a month and a half now. And I'm telling you, once you really start, if you can stand it, you will have good benefits. And even when you go to the dentist, I'm telling you, if you've had gum disease, it's going to cure a lot of that initially.
Balance.
So
it's going to balance.
It's going to balance things out in the mouth, and it pulls the toxins. So just to let you know that I'm a firm believer in it. And if you could just deflect for like 20.
Well, you know what?
Minutes.
Here's the challenge, and here's the challenge. See, remember when people are starting to do things like the oils for the very first time, many people have never had something that raw in their mouth.
Right.
Got it? So you're actually tasting the earth now. And that becomes very uncomfortable, because usually you expecting some sugar to be on that thing.
Wow. Wow. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, that's right.
Some sugar to be on there. It's like, it don't taste like nothing. And then you trying to, that's why sister's saying deflected, but really the key word is resensitize. That's what you're doing.
I like that word.
You're
Like that word,
resensitizing the taste buds. See, it's been desensitized because we have been taking so many chemicals and things in our mouths, and all these chemicals and pesticides and all that we've just desensitized your taste buds. You don't even know what stuff tastes like no more. And then when you get something raw that's really that's nasty, you're not used to that chemical that's on there. So that's why it takes a little while, takes a little training. Try starting with a tablespoon. That's what you saw. You crawl, walk, run till eventually you get to that number. Or, like I said, you can always switch oils. You can go to something you like almond oil. You can go with a walnut oil. You can go with a avocado oil. You can do a different oil. So it's a crawl, walk, run process. But thanks, sis, for helping her out with that.
Thank you. That's exactly, Dr. Paul. That's exactly what I was going to say. Exactly what you said, because she's not used to it, and her taste bud has to get resensitized. Because what I do is I don't use the teaspoon. I just take it to the head.
Woo! Go ahead.
Go ahead with your bad self. Go ahead with your bad self, girl.
Throw it up.
Hallelujah.
Throw it up. Let's not waste no time.
Yes. Oh man, I'm telling you. Listen, real quick before we roll out of here, man. Someone was asking about Prevision. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that, Dr. Paul? That brain supplement is called Prevision. You see his head? Look, hey, does he have to say anything? Y'all look at his head breaking from left to right.
No. You know why never Prevision? Because it comes from do y'all know where Prevision comes from?
No, tell us.
Jellyfish.
It comes from a jellyfish.
Ew.
Oh.
Ew.
Yes, which is a scavenger.
Yes. Okay.
Also, you got to remember, everything in God's creation has its purpose. Do y'all know what a jellyfish does?
Cleans it.
Cleans, nasty cleans.
Well, he's a scavenger.
Yeah.
All right. Now, see if you don't see God with this one. See if you don't see God with this. So, what does a jellyfish look like? It just kind of floats, right?
Yes.
And he's kind of in the middle of the ocean. He's not on the bottom necessarily.
Nope, not yet.
He's kind of in the middle. He's kind of doing that. Well, a jellyfish role is to pull out the most deadliest of microorganisms out of the ocean.
Wow.
That's my job. I got to do this. And God says, if that's happening, that's a delicate operation because that's the most deadliest of all stuff. The deadly of the microorganisms. And he's got to be out there eating that stuff because I built him to eat that stuff. And that he recycles that stuff. So he's actually like a little cleaning machine out there. But I know because he looks real flimsical that people gonna try to mess with him. Like other fish gonna try to be poking at him. So see, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put a stinger on him.
Yeah.
That's where the jellyfish stinger comes from. If you can't see God to say, hey man, you know, he can't be disturbed. That's a very important job. So that thing has some very, very, very strong toxicity with that. I would never mess with that. No. That's why we start doing stuff with, if you get memory, we already talked about today, the Bacopa. Go with the Bacopa. Yeah, that's what I would do. Bacopa, turmeric is good for memory.
Rosemary.
Rosemary. What else is Gotu Kola? We mentioned ashwagandha. Lion's mane. Chaga.
Yes.
Chaga is good. You know, any of the mushroom family is good for the brain. So that means the Ganoderma. You know, y'all. You know, some of y'all talk about the Ganoderma coffee. You know the Ganoderma coffee. Y'all know about that?
Yeah.
Ganoderma, Ganoderma. Ganoderma. That's the coffee. That's the mushroom coffee. Okay, that's what Brother Frank. With these, Frank used as you know, came on several times to tell us about his version. So all of that stuff is good. You know, anything for stimulation of brain activity. Yep. But
How can I purchase that Ganoderma? I've been looking for somewhat of that Organo Gold coffee.
Yeah, Frank
You know,
is the one.
I was just trying to find Frank's.
You got Frank's number?
I'm just
You
finding
can get it on Amazon too.
Yeah, he has a new.
Farouk.
Yeah, he has a new everything, and I still just been giving people his number. He mad at me, and he said, "You giving all these people my number, Doc?" And let me give you his number again. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm about to make Frank mad again at me, so I'm gonna give it to you anyway, because I think it's that good.
It is.
You know, it's really that good. Washington. Frank Washington.
Frank Washington, right.
Okay, Frank Washington. And his number, y'all ready for the number here?
Blow him up, y'all. Make him mad by doing good business with it.
He's going to say, man, Doc. Yeah, like, all right. All right, Frank's number is 267 461 6091.
Thank you.
How do you spell can you spell the coffee again?
Sure, it's Ganoderma. Gano, D as in David, ER, M as in Mary, A.
Thank you.
Yep, Ganoderma. All right.
Okay,
and
guys.
I'm gonna take one more, Big B. I gotta take one more.
Okay.
And yes. Let's see. Who else we have? Yeah, who is that? Linda?
Linda?
No, this is May.
May?
Okay. Yeah, May, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead,
Hi,
May.
Dr. Paul. Hi, Mr. Bill.
Hi, dear. How are you?
I'm fine. I just wanted to ask you a quick question, please. I have Ganoderma and the chaga. I have the capsules. Is there anything like an expiration date on mushrooms, or should I just?
It depends on. It depends on. I would check the bottle, number one, in the way they're presenting it to you, because sometimes it can have an expiration if it's in a certain delivery system. Like if it's just raw chaga, yes, it would probably have an expiration. Cool, dark places is what I would keep it, just like any other herb. Okay. If it's in capsules, it should be able to last a while. How long you had it?
Maybe 2-3 years.
Oh yeah, throw that one out.
Yes, I won.
I was gonna actually just.
Yeah,
you take that, you gonna look like me.
Is that chaga you said?
Yes, chaga and gator.
yeah.
May, I don't want you looking like me now. So don't start that.
That chaga is about to collect Social Security. All right, you leave that one around.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Let's see.
Dr. Paul,
yes.
Paul, I just have a quick question
Yeah,
too
Khadija.
in relation to the oil pulling. All that was good information, but I was also told not to spit it in the toilet.
Yeah, I mentioned that. Yeah, I
Oh, you
mentioned
did?
that.
Okay.
Yes, I mentioned that.
Okay.
I said that
just wanted to
because
see if that was true.
it's actually very real. I put that out there because I told people that, this oil is it's that strong where it will gunk up your toilet because when toilet paper hits it, it's going to stick. So that's how strong this stuff is. So I would tell people to use like a mason jar and just spit it into a mason jar. And then after you're finished, just dump it in some grass or some soil somewhere. You got it?
Okay. Yeah.
That's what you would do. Yeah, because it will back up your toilet. It just shows you how strong that oil is. That oil is very powerful.
Okay.
So it does all the things that it does. I mean, you have people that are detoxing from oil pulling, where you have dentists telling people, I can give you a root canal today, or you can go oil pull and come back in 3 months and we'll take a look at it. And they come back in 3 months, they don't need a root canal.
Oh,
Because it regenerates. It also kills staph and streptococcus bacteria on contact. So it's actually not only that, but it regenerates enamel. When they told you can't regenerate enamel, that's not correct. It can. You can regenerate enamel, and it actually, if you have gingivitis, periodontal issues, anything going on with the gums, if you have loose gums, tightens the gums, if you got soft gums, if you got issues with bleeding gums, all of that stuff, it just does across the board. The part that I love about it the most is what I get out of it. I always get the lore and the spiritual side of what happens. They went back to the people in the Ayurvedic Indians and said, who told y'all to do this? And they said, and the answer that came back was just powerful. They said, who told y'all to actually take some oil and then start to squish it in your mouth and that it would detox you? You know what they said? God told us to do it. That was it. End of the story. End of the story. End of the story.
All that's necessary, my friend.
That's all that's necessary. God told us to do it. That was it.
I'm gonna say that with the vaccine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What is that?
Because God told. I'm gonna say that with the vaccine. I'm not getting it because God told me to.
God told me.
That's right. That's right.
Go ahead now. All right. I got y'all. All right. I got one more. I'm gonna pull one more in here. I got Neetha up there. Hey, Neetha, how are you?
I'm doing great, Dr. Paul. I'm doing great. Listen, I have the question. What would you recommend instead of taking anticoagulants? Because I know they said, okay, you need to thin the blood, but you can thin the blood by drinking good water. You can thin your blood, and you may not have to go on anticoagulants like they always want to put you on. If you have some irregular heart rate, so I'm gonna put you on a anticoagulant to prevent you from having a heart attack.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what's the most effective, y'all. I told very much. There's a lot of testimonies I get. It's that red onion tea, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all.
Okay.
That red onion tea. Every time. I had one sister call me up. I don't know if she's on tonight, but I won't mention her name, but sister was actually in a situation where she came in the office and basically she was having this plaque buildup, and I told her, you need to make a beeline right out of here and go get you some Crystal Geyser water.
Wow.
Get you a red organic onion and keep it moving. And she did it. She said, I was doing it because I heard you, and I kept doing it. And then she said she goes back to the doctor. And when she goes to the doctor, does her regular checkup. And about a month or two later, so she goes in, and the doctor says, we're concerned about something. And she's like, well, what's going on? She was like scaring her. She's like, what do you mean? He said, we're seeing this debris all in your lungs. And she's like, oh my God, what's that? She said, no, it's not bad. It's actually good. Because apparently there was a clotting going and it was coming to your heart. But it was broken up in pieces.
Okay.
She said,
And
all I think about was taking, she said, Doc, I was killing that red onion. She said, I was killing it. She said, that's all that could come up to her mind. I said, sis, that red onion just saved your life.
Well, I'm definitely going to get it. And my last comment, Dr. Paul, I get very annoyed. That's why sometimes I just don't listen to the news. My husband is a CNN and MSNBC junkie and all that. And I said, you need to leave it alone. But it annoys me. They keep calling this the COVID-19. Where are we in 21?
Yeah.
We have the Delta virus. We have the Lambda following behind it. And back in February, I took care of patients who had the vaccine and then had COVID. So they make you wonder, okay, because they made sort of this vaccine for the COVID-19, we're no longer in COVID-19.
Exactly.
So that's why you're seeing the breakthrough here with this other virus. So come on, people, you gotta think. You gotta think, and don't let them scare you.
Yeah, and you know what? And you know, like you said, you know, the breakthrough numbers are very concerning, but there's another thing that people are not talking about, and that's the PCR numbers on the testing.
Yes.
Got it? Yes. See, the testing was put together. This guy named Kerry Willis, so he was actually the guy that invented the actual test. He actually told him that my test does not measure that. He said, that's not what my test was designed for. My test was designed to magnify molecules. So whatever was something that was inside of you, I would magnify it to say, yeah, it was in you. So he said, it doesn't do what they're taking it to do. They've never isolated the actual coronavirus. They've never isolated it. They've never isolated it. That sounds crazy. I know everybody's like silent. Like they've never isolated. What you see on TV, when you see that little thing, that's the protein spike indicator.
Right.
So that's not the coronavirus.
I heard something that people who have been vaccinated may be spreading the protein.
Right. That's called shedding.
Okay.
Right, the shedding. That's what the shedding is about. That's a conversation, you know. Whether that's happening or not, we don't have the numbers to know exactly what's going on. But yeah, the conversation is that those that have had it, they're becoming factories for making it.
Wow.
That's what it is. Yep, that's what it is. So what this test was doing, see, the test was actually designed by this guy, and he was selling them is not made for that purpose. And that when you spin the cycles, it will give you a false positive based on how fast it spins. So if you spin at about 25 cycles, it's going to be about 70% accurate. But if you go above 25% cycles, and that means it's probably going to be a false positive every time.
Wow.
so this is crazy. Every one of the testing, when you do the testing, you got to ask them, well, how fast is the cycles on this? The number one thing that they're spinning the cycles at 40 cycles.
And it should be what?
25.
25.
Okay.
So it's going to give you a false positive like 95% of the time.
Thank you, Dr. Paul. Can you hear a question from Beverly Miller, please?
Yes. Okay. Where's Beverly? So, I mean, look the guy up. His name is Kerry Willis. Yeah.
Kerry Willis, sure.
Yeah. He's a biotech. He was a biotech. Matter of fact, he mysteriously died like 2 months before the coronavirus hit.
He died.
Yeah.
Oh, they killed him. Okay.
No, I ain't say that.
Well, he said, you need to behave yourself. Put a muzzle over your mouth. You didn't say that.
But this is, you know, that's why, you know, you're not hearing. But they did come out with this. They did the CDC did come out with this. They actually said that the test is inaccurate. But we're gonna keep it till the first of the year anyway. Keep it moving, y'all. Okay. We're only gonna stop it at the 1st of January 1st, 2022. But they came out with this 2 weeks ago, and I was like, wow, nobody's paying attention to this. Nobody's asking this. Like, what about the people?
Not a person
said that they had it from the very beginning. You mean they probably never really had it? I mean, what is that saying? You know,
Yes.
question. That was my question.
Wow.
You know, I was like, wow, this is interesting news. You know, and they came out with it. They actually made an announcement about a week ago. They said, yeah, the test is no good. Matter of fact, we're going to stop the testing January 1st of 2022.
Okay.
So should we stay away from people that's taking the vaccine then?
I can't say that. I don't know. We don't. This is the thing.
We don't know
It's
who
not
had
there.
it.
We don't know the extent of what the testing goes because never there has been a trial for human studies.
Right.
There's never been a study for human trial thing, and everyone with animals was unsuccessful. So that's what the concern is. That's what the concerns are, you know. So that's what people are, you know, these are the conversations that are coming up by the peers of those that don't go with the pro of what you see on TV. Those peers that come in, they say, well, wait a minute, what about the cycles? Wait a minute, y'all spinning stuff at the cycles where it's showing everybody got it. You know, what's going on? You know, so that's where you got to start to look at all of this stuff, y'all, and just, you know, take it violent. You know, I say don't go down those rabbit holes. Focus on yourself. Be very adamant about your own health. You know, feed your body. Let your body correct itself. You know, God's gave you the greatest source of everything is right inside of you. It's a perfect system created by a genius. So you got to focus on what the genius has given you.
I know that's right.
Got it.
And a complete rejection religious exemption.
What was the young lady's name now that we're trying to find? The Williams? Williams?
What was that?
Beverly Miller.
Beverly Miller.
Beverly Miller.
Beverly, where are you? There she is. Beverly?
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
go ahead.
you. Thank you, Cricket. I took one of the vaccines. I took the first Pfizer shot, and then I found lumps in my breast. And I called the breast center where I normally get my mammograms, and they would not. I couldn't. They directed me to my doctor, and my doctor told me that center is delayed. If you had the shot, you cannot get a diagnostic mammogram for 3 months.
No.
Because so many people were having the lumps. And so she sent me to a different imaging center, and they were so backed up until I still had to wait more than a month before I could get a diagnostic mammogram. And
that's real talk, y'all. Y'all hear this? Y'all hear this? Y'all hear this? This is real talk. This is real talk.
When I finally got in there, I have metastatic breast cancer.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm so
And it's
sorry.
already in my lymph node.
I'm so sorry to hear that. But yeah,
also, and one question I have, I don't know what my options are yet, but I was wondering if eating organic food, if you're taking chemo, could that be dangerous because of the bacteria in the organic food?
No, that's if you had bad bacteria. Well, it depends on what kind of organic food we're talking about. Number one, because that's like you just threw me 3 questions in one. What kind of organic food are you eating?
Oh, I try to get everything organic. I get like bread.
No,
it's organic.
Yeah, but as long as you keep your
seeds
right. But you remember there's the bacteria that you're probably talking about when it comes to danger is the sanitation issues with delivery. That's what they're talking about. Salmonella, things like that. The listeria, things like that. That's from unwashed or poorly transportation issues. Got it?
Okay.
That's what that's talking about. That's not talking about what's good for you. What the actual vegetable or fruit itself is good for you. Yes. So it's always the types of soil, and that's also becoming. You know where that's coming from, also, y'all. Let me tell you where that's coming from. A lot of the things that you're seeing with the salmonella and the listeria that's popping up, a lot of that's coming from because they're washing. It's called human wastewater. That's what it's called, human wastewater. So they're actually sanitizing human wastewater, and they're rinsing off the vegetables and fruits with the stuff, and that's what's happening. Called human wastewater. So all of this is to say, I'm sorry to what has happened to you, and if you put the points together, it was after you said you had the shot. So I'm going to say to you that yes, that is one of the number one things that I hear also. Because remember, when you hit you in the deltoid, right up in the arm, that's very close to your lymph node, which is the axillary. It's called the axillary node, which is underneath your armpit. Got it? But if you're talking about a people that are having the greatest problems with these GMOs and chemicals that is in the food, it's us, y'all. It's us. We can't process this stuff. If it's dead, it's dead. Only life begets life. So we already got problems with clotting because the food's not real. And then when we get hit with something that goes in and it starts to go directly into the lymphatic system, which is the sewer system of your body, then we clot up even more. So that's where we got to do a lymphatic detox, lymphatic drainage, blood cleansing. I'm going to keep going back until y'all get this. I'm going to catch this so y'all get it. Keep pitching it till y'all catch it, right? Get those greens. That website where I put my, on my website, I put out there the top blood cleansers. You got to go with that list. Pick one. That's all you got to do. Pick one and work with that one. Got it? So Beverly, are you set to come in at all? Are you in Philadelphia, by the way?
No, I'm not, but I'm set. I'm
yeah.
scheduled for December.
You did call though, right? Or you sent me an email. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Definitely. I can help you with some things, okay? But I would definitely probe a little farther and help you out, and we can I can give you instructions on what I would recommend, okay? And based on, but we got to get a consultation on the phone first, okay?
Okay.
All right, and be encouraged, my sister. You can, we can keep, we got to keep fighting now. You got to keep fighting now. You got to keep this thing going. Keep this thing cleansing. But you see what's going on with a lot of people. The family, y'all hear this? Y'all hear this? You hear what's going on here? Got it? That's pretty much what I'm hearing on a regular basis. But again, it's a lot of static going on out here.
Yes.
A lot of static.
Sister.
That's why I can't. I don't want the family to get outside of yourselves.
Yes.
You got it. You got to stay focused. I pray on these things every time before I even step before you, or if I get on the radio or anything. I pray before every session. I say, God, what is it that you want me to say for the people that somebody can help somebody?
And
it always comes back to the same thing. Tell them to keep their eyes on me.
Yes, sir. Amen.
That's it.
That's it. Simple as that. Simple as that.
Keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. Stop taking your eyes off of me. Because I didn't tell you to do all that stuff.
That's right.
Even though some people that you surprise you with some folks to tell you to do stuff, you're like, whoa, wow, I never thought that. But keep your eyes on Daddy. All right,
Amen.
That's all I can say about that.
There you go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So Beverly, be encouraged, my sister. All right.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
all right.
Yes, indeed.
Dr. Paul, did you hear about the golden Listerine, the original Listerine that's supposed to be effective with the new Delta variant in killing the germs in the mouth?
I would not be surprised, because
golden Listerine. The original
golden Listerine. The old one. That's the nasty one too.
Yes, the nasty one too. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm going to tell you, it wouldn't be surprising. I mean, when they started working on the quinine, quinine is in the tonic waters. Quinine, that's the ingredient in hydroxychloroquine. That's the quinine. Something simple as that is what's in the actual drug quinine, which comes from a thing called the cinchona tree. The cinchona tree is a bark from over in Brazil. So it would not surprise me. It would not surprise me. Not
Is
at
that
all.
good to use? Is that good to drink? That quinine, the tonic water?
Yeah, quinine is very good. Quinine is what? Let me tell you what quinine, and then we gotta end this. Okay, because we going and y'all taking me.
We going all night.
Y'all keep. But this is good stuff, though. I think this is topics that, and I'm glad y'all chime in because we really need to break this stuff down. Quinine was actually used back during the slave trade. Ooh. This was the only way. This goes back, y'all. The cinchona. It comes from the cinchona. Cinchona. Cinchona is a bark from a tree in Brazil or in South America, and it's also in parts of Africa. And the cinchona was actually used where they get the quinine from. So a lot of that, it is very well known to be a anti-parasitic. Got it? It's anti-parasitic. So it's been used for centuries upon centuries for malaria. So when the slave trade was going on, the only way that the Western Europeans were able to come into Africa and actually be able to field us out of there at the rate in which they did without getting sick themselves was the quinine.
Wow.
You got it? That's it. That's their tonic. That's their tonic. That's what made the transatlantic slave mission and accomplishment was the quinine.
Where you want to get that from? The quinine.
The cinchona.
Where?
Well, this is the thing. Here's the thing. The cinchona tree. It comes from the cinchona tree. That's the isolation of the cinchona tree. Now, also the cinchona tree is also used for things like heart rhythms. You know, not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent disease, and food for the soul. Anybody who had rhythmic issues with their heart, that's the cinchona that was used to correct a lot of those issues with heart murmurs, flutters, all that stuff. So with that, they moved that. They started to make the hydroxychloroquine from that. But they did that isolation back in the 50s. Come on, y'all. Come on. This is important. Y'all got to be quiet now. Come on. This is important. They isolated that in the 50s. So the hydroxychloroquine that you see right now is based off of the hydroxychloroquine taken from the cinchona tree back in 57, not now.
Wow.
You got it? Here's the problem. This is why herbs rule and why herbs are the meat of the earth and the trees are for the healing of the nations. When you have this thing called the ecosystem, which actually resonates with what? What happens? Y'all remember when y'all was in school, right? When the sun rays after a rain, it draws the water back up into the clouds, and then the clouds come in, and then it rains down again on the flowers, and then they see how that cycle, that eco cycle goes like that. Well, not only is it transferring water and rain and sunlight, but it's transferring information. And that's the earth communicating with, and the sky and the atmosphere communicating with the earth on what is needed based on whatever pollutants are in the air. We need to make more of this. We need to make more of that, whatever it is. And that's when the trees and the plants and the herbs, they adjust by intensifying what they need with the minerals. Incredible world, y'all.
Amen,
Incredible
man.
world.
Amen. So true. So true. So true.
Plants. The Secret Life of Plants talks about this and how this is an information thing that's going on. So guess what? The herbs are getting the real update. The real boost is happening to your herbs. Ain't that crazy? Wow, that is awesome. If you can't see God, you ain't looking. I'm sorry.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
If you can't see God, you ain't looking.
Dr. Paul,
Yes.
could I have the ear candling number?
The ear candling, what now?
The number for the ear candle, you know, the candle for the ear wax.
You can get that from any store. You can get that in any drugstore, believe it or not.
Yeah, but you said you gave us a number for somebody.
Yeah, that was Wayne Avenue Health Food Store. They have it. Wayne Avenue Health Food. Yeah, Wayne Avenue. And Pollock probably has it also. Pollock Herbs probably has it also.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got both numbers, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, give them a call. All right, family.
What was the name of the book? What was the name of the book that you
What?
just mentioned?
Secret Life of Plants.
Yeah,
Secret Life of Plants. Okay.
Secret Life of Plants. Yep. Yeah, that's a powerful book. I mean, it just talks how they hooked up electrodes to the plant, and the plant, when the owner left and came back home and opened up the door, the plant started jumping like this. Like he was
Dr.
like,
Paul?
he's home, she's home, she's home. Oh man, she's home. Daddy's home, mommy's home. It's just like it's like a baby. Ain't that amazing?
Dr. Paul.
I get excited about stuff like that, y'all. I'm sorry. All right, what do we
Hi,
have?
Dr.
Who was
Paul.
that? The last person? Yes, who is that? Somebody on the phone?
Hi, my name is Talia. Yes,
Hello,
how are
Dick
you?
Travis.
Talia, let you the last one, Talia.
Hi. All right, thank you. I'm actually new. This was my first time. I actually was given this link from a friend. So I
Glad to have you.
enjoyed everyone, and I've had my hand raised since like 7:15.
Yeah, we got a lot of raised hands in here.
So, yeah, see, I gotta pretty much raise my hand before the class starts. So next time I know.
Yes.
How can I be put on the list to actually receive like links to be able to get the Zoom?
Right. So what you want to
classes?
do, right? What you got to go is go to the website, which is www.drpaulherbs. That's DRPAUL herbs with a S.com. Subscribe, put your name and your email, and you'll be on the list. So probably every Tuesday morning or probably Monday, Tuesday, something like that, it actually automatically goes out. Gives you the updates and the links for everything. Okay.
Okay. And I do have a question. So my daughter has been experiencing lockjaw. They kind of like, she has Invisaligns, and they accidentally pushed one of her teeth like in her gums. So she was supposed to have already been done after 2 years. So she's basically going into her 3rd year. So they're trying to pull that tooth up that they actually caused to go down with one of their trays. So she's been experiencing this lockjaw issue. So they told me that she needed to see an oral surgeon. So we took her to the oral surgeon yesterday, I believe. And they put her on these steroids. They want to put her on these steroids, and she's supposed to take the steroids for 6 days. Now, I'm skeptical because I don't believe in putting them I'm more so Eastern versus Western medicine. And I was just concerned because she's a teenager, like she just turned 16, and I wasn't sure like what the side effects would be with the steroids.
Yeah.
But she cannot open her mouth only but to a certain degree. So they said that try it for 6 days. Of course, she's not done with her treatments as far as with the orthodontist. So they're saying, this should help it, for 4 weeks. And I'm just like, the side effects, like, what are the side effects? So it's like, I'm just thinking like, what is it that I could do on my behalf to like help her, be able to have her mouth open again?
Right. Now, are they saying that she has the locked jaw because of the structure of what happened with that procedure? Or are they saying she has locked jaw because lockjaw happens because of bacteria? That's tetanus infection. That's tetanus. Got it? That's a tetanus infection. So if they use the term locked jaw, you got to make sure you distinguish. Are you talking about from the bacteria invading the body and then now it's actually locking because maybe it was infected? Or are you saying that the procedure has caused a precision that particular thing? So I think there's some questions there.
So
you got me?
They're saying that her jaw, so her jaw is inflamed, they're saying.
Okay, that's a sign of
That
infection.
her jaw is inflamed.
Okay, let me tell you,
they're saying because of her jaw, they're saying that because she's been clenching. So she's been clenching because they're saying that her teeth are she's trying to put her teeth back to where it is, basically is what they're saying. So as she's doing things, like she's a runner, so as she's running, she's clenching because it was tight, like she's doing those things. So her jaw can't open all the way. Like they have the rubber bands in her mouth to the point where, number one, she can't extend her mouth to a certain degree.
Right.
Because they're trying to pull that tooth up, but she can't, like sometimes it hurts when she's trying to eat something like hard or, something of that nature. Is a discomfort when she's trying to open her mouth all the way, but you can hear the knocking in her jaw when she's like eating or something of that nature.
Yeah. So really there's a structural issue there. There's a structural issue. And whenever you're past the point of, there's something that structurally needs to be done, that's a procedure that may involve operation. Okay. So I want the family to hear that. Sometimes you got to get past, if you're past the point of preventiveness and you got to do something structurally, you may have to get in there and move something, or a procedure caused a problem, so you got to go in there and correct it. But here's what I'm going to go back to on again. You got to be very specific with them when you're asking the question. Are they saying she has an infection from tetanus?
No, they didn't say that she had an
Okay,
infection.
yeah,
No.
because when you use the term locked jaw, that's what it means. And then if you said it
Yeah,
was swelling,
they just said it was inflamed. Her jaw was inflamed from her braces trying to realign her teeth, and her trying to, like when she's sleeping, she's clenching, her trying to, I guess, put her teeth back to where they were.
Right.
Like subconsciously, she's not trying to do that, but I guess subconsciously it's
right.
She's
Yeah,
doing
that's
it, not realizing that she's
right.
doing it.
Right. So that would be something it's trying to reposition. That's okay. So is she taking the antibacterial?
No. They
Okay,
gave
good.
her a steroid. So they said that they usually just give them like Motrin to like, but being that hers is a little bit more severe, they wanted to put her on the steroids for 6 days.
Let me tell you one thing that can actually help her would be, believe it or not, that oil pulling. That oil pulling would help her. Yep. Your oil pulling. Do you know about oil pulling?
Yes.
Okay, I would do the oil pulling. And because that's going to deal with inflammation. It's going to reduce inflammation, but it also is going to help. It will help
with the sesame seed, seed oil, or coconut.
I would specifically deal with sesame on this one. That's what I would recommend.
Okay.
You know, sesame oil is a food that has a higher medicinal energy than all of the oils, and therefore it has the ability to deal with staph, streptococcus, bacteria, all kind of stuff. So if she can do that, that should give her a little bit more relief until it repositions itself. See, I see what they're saying, because they got
to. So should she continue? Like, should she take the steroids?
I can't tell you that. Yeah, I can't tell you that, because I would have to. You know, she's under. See, when you're actually dealing with, how old is she, by the way?
16. She just turned 16.
16. Yeah, I can't recommend anything for her, of course, because I haven't seen her. She hasn't come in for an assessment, but
yeah, I had called, but you guys are like booked all the way until like February.
Right, but this is what I'm saying.
She needs her jaw.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying though. Hear me what I'm saying. You got some questions to ask these guys, okay? You got to find out, is this a positioning? Is this a structural issue? You know, is this more of a structural issues, or is this an infection issue? I'm still not clear with that explanation that they gave you. So I would probe that further. Got it? And then see,
okay. So my husband said when they did the X-ray, he said that they didn't say it was a structural issue.
Okay, but
he said it's a repositioning issue.
Okay,
it's
repositioning. Okay.
He said it's muscular with her trying.
Right. So
muscular inflammation.
Right. So it's almost like the equivalent of your wisdom teeth coming in, and then they're positioning to again move things around. And that can be a problem. That can be painful for a while. Oil pulling is what I would recommend right now. You know, if she's on medication, you got to follow what that doctor's giving you right now, because you can always do the oil pulling, because it's food. Got it?
Okay, so, that sounds good. And one more thing. So I did buy like your Dr. Paul's NGB, and I brought like some soursop I think it's called high protein. Can you mix those two? Like, could you mix those with like vitamins, and will we be getting all of our vitamins just by taking those two things together, or should we take other like vitamin supplements?
Well, the NGB is a natural green balance, so it's got all the nutrients from land and sea. That's all you need right there. That's the total nutrients. It's a meal replacement itself. If you're taking any herbs, you got to make sure and know why you're taking it. You know, if you're going to take something, you got to know what the herb is for, or what is it doing. In most cases, if you want just basic multivitamin, multi-balance, take it 3 times a day. You stay level like this all throughout the day. Boom.
Okay, so should I not mix the soursop high protein?
Soursop is fine. Soursop is fine, but I don't know if it's mixed for you, or is it for whoever it's for. You can't put a blanket statement on that for everybody. That's because you got to find out what the person is using it for. I could say though, in general, you can just take a good multivitamin, land in C, and that balances you out. See,
So does your vitamin does that?
yeah, that's what that's a multivitamin.
Okay.
So the
So it is a
soursop is
multivitamin.
actually
Okay.
is soursop is used for, it's a form of a it's used for cancer. Those for people who actually are cleaning up the
Oh.
blood. Soursop is used for its blood cleanser, you know, things like that. See, that's why I said to the family, y'all got to know what you're taking and what it's for. You know, don't just
Right.
take it just because, yeah, it's supposed to be doing this. No, you got to worry about if
Yeah,
it's good
I just
and
brought
if
it.
it's good for you. Got it? That's the key.
Can children take yours as well?
Yep, mine is food. That's
Okay.
it. It's food. Land and
Awesome.
sea. Yep. I've given it to my son. He's my test pilot. My test pilot.
Amen.
My test pilot was 6 years old.
And what about sea moss oil? Is that a thing? Like
Sea moss is
oil?
the same thing. That's C. See, when you
No, sea moss
categorize
oil.
Yep, still in
Oh,
there.
it is
Sea
the thing?
moss.
Okay.
Yep, still in the oil. So even if it's whatever it is, you got to categorize it as land or sea. That's what you want to see. Land or sea. Land or sea.
Okay.
So you got
Chlorophyll,
alpha.
is that good as well? Chlorophyll?
That's everything you just mentioned is chlorophyll. Plant melanin.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
it is. Everything you just
Awesome.
mentioned is chlorophyll.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
All right.
it. Thanks for
Okay.
taking my call.
Best wishes to you. All right. Be encouraged. All right.
Thank you.
All
Everyone
right,
have a blessed day.
family.
Bye-bye.
We gotta wrap it up. Y'all
We
done
gotta
left a brother
go.
out here almost to 10 o'clock at night. Ain't
Y'all
something? Ain't
trying to
nobody.
get us shot, y'all.
Good night, Dr. Paul.
Good night. And nobody
Good night,
said
Dr.
nothing.
Paul. Everyone.
See,
See
they
that
Charlotte.
Dr. Paul, now they
All
leave us.
right.
Hung us out here to dry.
All right. So thank you, family. Hey, Big B, close
man.
us out, Big B.
Yeah, guys, real quick as always, this is the best time of the night. We get a chance to sort of pull everybody together and say, remember, always bring somebody to the family tree. And we really appreciate it. By the way, as always, if you're trying to get a copy of tonight's chat, make sure you send an email to me at meccavideo@gmail.com. That's in the chat. And of course, always, we are continuing to support us here at the family tree by using Dr. Paul's Cash App, by putting that in as $, capital D, R, capital PAUL, capital HOP. And hey, guys, make sure that you keep passing this information on, because there's no better place to come than to the family tree, so you can save the family.
All right, family. I think that's a wrap.
Yes, sir. Yes,
It's a
sir.
wrap. So I just want to say it has been a pleasure. I'm glad that everyone came through tonight, and I hope that you got something out of it. Did everybody
Yes,
get
sir.
out of this
Yes,
tonight?
Yes, sir. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
All right.
Good night, everybody. Have a great one here.
That's what the
Have a great
family.
evening.
Yes, thank you
yes,
so much,
indeed.
and I believe that's what
Great
it's
questions.
about.
Great
having
questions.
having the ability to talk about these issues around the family. If
Yeah.
we don't talk about it, where we gonna talk about it, right?
Amen.
Got it?
That's exactly right.
So
make it work, guys.
I'm only going to charge y'all with one thing. You know what that is? I'm charging y'all with one thing. Y'all want to know what it is? You got to go tell somebody.
I
Got
know
it?
that's right.
That's
Yes,
it.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go share this information. Don't hold on to it. Next, in fact, tell somebody. Hope you got good notes. Share with your family. Like somebody next week.
That's right. Good night.
May God.
Good night.
Give him a hand. Big B. Give
Yes, sir.
me a
Yes, sir,
hand.
buddy. Yes, sir. That's what's up. That's what's up, everybody. Have a great one.
We love those that have helped us with
Yes.
donations to the Cash App. Remember, the Cash App, it just goes back to the platforms that we need. Anything you can help us with, be glad to send it through our donation app. If it's $1, whatever, we appreciate it. All right,
Yes,
we got to keep this going. That's right. We got to keep this going.
That's
So
right.
be
That's
encouraged. Keep your belief system strong. Know that
Yes.
God ain't gonna
Yes,
leave
yes,
you.
yes.
Got
I
it?
know, that's right.
And remember, if you're breathing, you got a shot.
God bless everybody.
Y'all can just jam it out if y'all
Good
want
night.
to. Jam out if y'all want
Good
to.
night, little boy.
All right. Goodbye, little Bill. All right, see y'all later. Hey, Joanna, Margaret. I see you, Margaret. Margaret's still dancing.
Margaret's always
I don't think she stopped dancing the whole time she was in here.
She don't miss a trick. Here we go.
There you go. Good.
Yes,
We got
yes, yes.
Eunice. We got, who is that? Jewel. There's Karam up there. Yeah, I see you.
Yes.
Go ahead, Rita. I see Rita over there.
Good night,
Rita, I see you
everybody.
moving your head now. She
Yeah.
kind of banging out like she ain't trying to be in there.
Yeah.
You got
All right.
What's up, everybody?
Did y'all tap it out? Y'all forgot to tap it out, didn't y'all? There you go. Tap it out. Get that lymphatic system moving, right? You should do this every morning, right? Don't forget the head. You know what's up there. Got it? Good. All right. Take a deep breath in and blow it out. Breathe in and out. One more. In and out. All right, family. We'll see y'all next week on the Family Tree. Go ahead, y'all. Come on now. That's right. If you can't feel this, you better check your pulse. All right, Big B, I'll see you on the weekend, buddy.
Yes, sir. See you on Sunday.
All right. Take care now.
All right, buddy.
Peace out.